Yo, what's poppin', everybody? This is Jabari98 here, and we're back once again for another Genshin Impact live stream, baby. Let's go. So, fun fact, the I think the first phase of Genshin Impact version 4.3, the event for this version ends tomorrow. Well, I guess technically No, I guess it's technically still tomorrow, around like 4 a.m. Eastern Standard Time for me. So I've got about a little bit over 24 hours to get this entire event done. So yeah, guess what I'm doing for this stream. We're definitely gonna speedrun this joint because yeah, can't miss out on them rewards. I'm still debating on whether or not I should pull for Raiden Shogun's weapon or go for her C3 and see if I can get Chevreuse in the process. But I need the extra primo gems from this event to decide that. So yeah, let's get into it. By the way, I did some adjustments to my mic settings. Please by all means let me know how my mic sounds, whether it's like, you know, too different and you just want me to go back, or if you like how it sounds now. But anyways, let me get the game situated on my end, because can't have Genshin full screened on OBS unless you do like some weird shenanigans. So yeah, and now I can click in through here, and then yeah, cool. So now we can go to the game, and let's turn this music off. Turn the Genshin music on. There we go. Let's go, baby. Let's go. There we go. God, I miss this game. Ooh. Alright, so maximum resin. I think I can drop off like one stack of I can make one stack of fragile resin just so I don't gotta worry about it for right now, because I really just want to grind the event. So yeah. And plus by doing the event I'll grind my dailies at the same time. So
Add Astra.
snag all, dispatch again, easy. Finito. Let's make one stack of this. Easy. Oh yeah, Lost Riches too. I gotta get that, let's see if I get that Sealy. Heated battle mode, sprinting stratagems. Did this just start? I think it just started. I gotta see if I can do that, get them coins. Alright. Roses and muskets. Yeah, one day. Wait a minute. Hold on, that's not what I wanted to check. What is... Let me see if there's any, like, quest that's in the way. Not completing the recommended quest. Any Muga... Whoa. Not completing the recommended quest may result in areas or characters being occupied, or meeting new characters early. Complete the recommended quest. Oh no. Oh no. Oh no. Oh no. Oh my god, I'm not gonna complete any quests prematurely again, bro. So, yeah. So 86, that I gotta do this quest first. Oh,
A lot easier with a few different identities to choose from.
alright.
Want me to come up with some for you?
86 the event for now. Gotta do Farina's quest. And just as a heads up, guys. Oh wait, did I turn my overlay off? No. Yeah, there we go. Okay, and just as a heads up, guys, I have some food, so I'm gonna be muting my mic sometimes so that I can eat while I progress through the event. But yeah, feel free to chat and see, like, talk about like what's going on and stuff like that. I'll be reading your comments and stuff. Just know I'll be eating.
Hey, Catherine, it's us. Got any new commissions? Specifically one with a huge more attack, perhaps? Paimon's just being enthusiastic. We're old friends now, she gets it.
It's always a pleasure to see our two most avid adventurers again. Looking for the next challenge, I see. Actually, we do in fact have a rather urgent commission that is still open. Having read the details, however, I don't believe you'd consider it to be lucrative.
Don't worry about that. We were just kidding. So what's the situation?
To put it simply, the requester is looking for a temporary replacement actress for their musical. The original cast member ran into some issues and is currently unable to perform the role. But the troupe has also been experiencing some financial difficulties, so unfortunately they cannot afford to pay the replacement actress.
That does sound like a tricky situation. So basically they're looking for a volunteer?
That's right. Our adventurers reached out to many actresses, but none of them were willing to take the job. There are only a few days left until the performance. If they can't find someone in time, they'll probably have to postpone the show. And delays tend to create all sorts of new problems.
Got it. Oh, this one's a doozy. What do you think, Traveler? Any ideas? Even if we took the commission, neither of us have any experience starring in musicals.
If you're interested in helping, why not start by having a chat with the requester? He's right over there. Maybe you can't fill the role yourselves, but you might be able to help him figure out another solution. Maybe there's something he hasn't thought of.
Oh, it's that guy, huh? No wonder, he looks like he just ate a sour lemon. Paimon approved, let's go! Hello there, are you the guy looking for a new actress?
Wait, I know you two! Are you really willing to act in my musical?
Wow, sounds like we're pretty famous in Fontaine already. But to answer your question, neither of us have any experience in musicals. But we heard that you're in a bit of a bind, so we figured we could at least try to help you think of a solution.
Ah, I see. It's okay. I knew that asking for a volunteer was a long shot. If we can't find someone to step in, we'll have no choice but to cancel the show. It would be such a shame. That's the thing. We're not some high-profile theater troupe, just a group of amateur enthusiasts. All our sets and props are very crude. We're grateful enough just to get an audience, never mind ticket fees. If we had a way to make this profitable, things might have turned out differently. But now, it looks inevitable that we'll disband.
Disband? You're splitting up the troupe?
Oh, I guess the lady at the Adventurers Guild didn't tell you? Yeah, this is supposed to be our final show together as a troupe. One last show. And after that, we go our separate ways. So we were really hoping to end on a high note. Nobody wants things to just fizzle out. Not after all the time and effort we've invested into it. Yeah, the leading lady, in fact. She's been dealing with a chronic illness ever since childhood, and unfortunately, it flared up again recently. It really drains all her energy, so she's in no state to perform. The show just won't be the same without her. But for everyone else's sake, I still hope we can find a way to hold the performance on schedule.
Got it. We have a clearer picture now. Let's see if we can come up with any ideas. What if we sponsored the show? Traveler, how much more are you carrying?
Please, there's no need to go that far. I wouldn't feel right asking such a huge favor, and I can't promise that we'd ever be able to pay you back.
Good point. If the actress just goes through the motions for the Mora, that's not exactly rescuing the show. We should find someone who will put on the best performance possible. Oh, wait! What about... you know who? That's how you know we're the best of partners. Anyway, she should have all the free time in the world right now. She's really good at performing, and she was once super popular with the crowd. Performing in a musical should be a piece of cake for her.
Who are you thinking of? Sounds like someone famous. Her? You're... That was a joke, right?
Nope. Paimon doesn't actually know if she's performed on stage before, but Paimon's pretty confident that she'd be really good at it.
You're not wrong there. She has actually performed in a number of big-name shows before. They were one of the reasons she was so popular. But even if she's no longer the Hydro Archon, it's not like she's suddenly a commoner. She's still an idol to many people in Fontaine, including myself. I just think Lady Farina might feel a bit out of place in an amateur troupe like ours. Well, yes, but... Fair enough. I mean, if she was actually willing to, then of course I'd be honored to have Lady Farina star in our show. I'm sure the rest of the troupe would be delighted too. I'm sure everyone in our troupe has probably dreamt of performing on stage with her one day. Of course, it all depends on whether she's interested. She might consider this opportunity beneath her.
No point in stressing about that. We'll only know if we ask her. And besides, things are different now. There's no reason for her to be all high and mighty anymore.
Thank you for your help. I guess I'll just stay here and wait for the good news. Good luck.
Wait, where does Farina actually live nowadays? She used to live in luxury at the Palais Mermonia, but she's, moved out, right?
As it happens, I have her current address here. I can provide it to you.
Woo! When did you get here?
I came over when things were starting to sound more promising. I thought I should be at the ready in case my assistance is needed. It is my duty to support commissioners in any way I can.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you so much.
Well, now that we've got the address, we'll go find Farina. Back in a jiffy.
All right, let's go. We've got an objective. We got our first goal to satisfy, so let's go. Put it over here. Let's go. So Farina done moved out. She moved out of the Opera Epiclese. Is that where she used to live? Yeah. She either lived here or New Valette. But yeah. So she moved out to here.
Did Catherine really give us the right address? She lives here? Not that there's anything wrong with this place. It's just, a bit of a step down from the Palais Mermonia.
You know, it's common courtesy to make sure the homeowner isn't an earshot when you're denigrating their abode.
Damn!
Okay, when did popping out of thin air become all the rage? First Catherine and now you?
I was just out on a shopping trip. I ran out of macaroni, so I went to grab a few more bags. I used to have a much wider range of choices when it came to food, but now I'm finding that simple, traditional home cooking can be quite delicious too. Not at all. As long as you have different kinds of sauces in, you can have macaroni and tomato sauce one week, macaroni and bolognese the next.
Oh, sounds like you're really struggling to cope.
How rude! Questioning my cooking skills. The audacity! It's not like I have a very eventful life these days. Actually, I barely leave the house. So I don't see how it's unusual that my meals are a little simpler now too. Besides, I'm sure I could master dishes like la lettre faucilor or blubber profiteroles in no time, if I felt so inclined.
Ah, there it is. You don't know how to cook.
Not yet, maybe, but... Anyway, what are you even doing here? I do hope you didn't come here just to ogle at my fall from grace. Let me first be clear that I'm not taking guests at this time. So if you're just here to clown around, then please be on your way. Shoot!
Sorry! We're sorry! Please don't be mad! Yeah, exactly! What the traveler said! Paimon wasn't trying to make fun of you. Hang on a sec, you weren't exactly holding back either.
My help? Well, maybe you're forgetting that I'm no longer the mighty Hydro Archon. I don't even have a vision, you know.
Don't worry, it's nothing that serious. It's just very specific, and you're the one with the power to help.
Oh? Well, if that's the case, then fine. I'll spare you the lecture about your attitude just now. So tell me, what specifically makes this matter so specific? I see. I knew you couldn't have come all this way just to amuse yourselves at my expense. After all, I was once the brightest star in all of Fontaine, well versed in all the various performing arts. A mere musical is well within my capabilities. But given the present circumstances, I'm afraid I must regretfully decline your casting request.
How come? It sounds like this would be a breeze for you.
True, but I have made a decision to retire from the stage. Although I am no longer required to play the role of the Hydro Archon, the time I spent inhabiting that character has left an indelible mark on me. Centuries of pretending to be a different person changes you completely. I'm not the same person I once was. Of course, that can't be undone now. It's too late, and I have no intention of reinventing myself all over again. But at least I can say that I no longer desire to play any new roles.
Dang. Oh my god.
Paimon can understand, but this is just a one-off part to fill in for someone who's sick. Surely that's okay.
Whether it's a one-off or not, it's a boundary that I've committed to no longer cross. If I make an exception to the rule now, I'm just leaving a back door for myself, which would be the same as not having a boundary in the first place.
Yep.
So I'm not going to perform, and that is that.
Okay, guess there's no convincing you. Well, is there anything else we can do to help out the troupe? Otherwise, they'll just have to disband without any fanfare. Do you know any other actors who might be interested in the role?
Nope.
Short and to the point, okay.
I've never been great at maintaining relationships. Besides, anyone I've ever worked with probably couldn't wait to get rid of me. Since I'm just an ordinary person now, they'll probably just laugh in my face if I go asking them for help.
Oh wow, her confidence is just shattered. Oh man.
True, but I mean, could you even blame them? I show up out of the blue, begging and groveling for their help with a show they won't even get paid for? Oh, no way. I'm dying from embarrassment just thinking about it. Nope, not happening.
Well, is there anything else we can do? This performance really means a lot to the guy we're working for.
Have I not made myself clear? You're barking up the wrong tree. I don't want this job, nor do I know of anyone else who would. Sorry. I didn't mean for that to sound so harsh. I wish I could help, really. But if I thought I had the answer to this problem, I would have said so by now.
Yeah, she probably
It's
just
all
needs a
right,
break.
Farina. Paimon just wanted to make sure we tried everything. Oh, everyone in the troupe will be so disappointed. Yeah, I guess that's all we can do now. All right then, we'll see you around, Farina.
Toodaloo to you too. I'm going home to take a rest now.
Alright, so now what are we gonna do? Alright, so Farina lives here. Very interesting.
It's too bad, but we have to respect Farina's decision. Maybe the thought of performing brings up too many painful memories now. Huh? What's going on? Are they arguing?
That's besides the point. I'll ask you again. Why did you start looking for a replacement without my consent? When did I tell you I'm going to take a step back?
You didn't need to say it. We've known each other for how long now? We know the signs. But you never tell us about your illness, even when it's clearly flaring up.
And that gives you the right to make a decision on my behalf?
Shortly after you left, the troupe's lead actress came to the Adventurers Guild. She believes that she's healthy enough to perform. Excuse me, but can you both take a moment to discuss something else for now? The adventurer assigned to your commission has returned.
Sorry, I was just dealing with a little misunderstanding. So, how did your conversation with Farina go?
Sadly, it's a no from her. We tried to persuade her, but she wasn't having it. She doesn't want to play the role for personal reasons.
I see. Well, circumstances have changed a little, so maybe that's not such bad news after all. You see, our leading lady has just informed me that she's well enough to make it to the show after all. Staging the musical with the full original cast was always the dream, of course.
Oh, right! Sounds like everything worked itself out then. Yeah, she'd be livid. We'd get the scolding of a lifetime.
Jeez, is Lady Farina really so harsh with people?
Only joking, calm down. So, guess we can consider this case closed now, huh? Despite the fact that we failed to complete the commission, we were still racking our brains for ideas on the way back here.
Look, there's no point arguing with you about this anymore. You've made yourself very clear, so I'll stop looking for a replacement. This is the last chance we have, though. If your illness flares up again, there won't be time to find anyone to replace you. So, are you absolutely sure you'll be able to handle it? The whole team is putting everything they have into this final performance. We have to make sure it goes ahead.
Yes, I'm completely confident. I've been taking a new medication from the doctor, and it's working brilliantly. I'll definitely be able to tough it out until the performance day. I share everyone's desire to commemorate all our years as a troupe with a proper farewell show. So the last thing I want is to be left out. Every one of us thinks of this troupe as their home, myself included.
You're right. I'm sorry. I let myself get too worried about the show. I should have asked for your permission first.
All's well that ends well. Sounds like the show will go on. Sure.
Hey, how did you... I was just passing by because I realized I forgot a couple of items on my shopping list. Alright, I'm coming. No need to drag me. Hello, one and all. I couldn't help but overhear your conversation just now.
Farina? Didn't you say you were gonna take a rest at home? What are you doing here?
I was just ever so slightly concerned about the situation you mentioned. Yes, a teensy bit concerned, that's all. When you came to talk with me earlier, I jumped right to explaining my position and said some strongly worded things. And all before I even had a full grasp of the situation. Anyway, I just feel a bit bad about how it went down. I'm sorry, Paimon.
Oh, it's totally fine. Paimon didn't take any of that personally.
You really have a knack for asking the most uncomfortable questions, don't you? I felt very sheepish, having had a change of heart after flatly refusing you. And then, to make matters worse, you caught me. But in any case, it sounds like the issue has already been resolved.
Yeah. When they said they were gonna ask for your help, I almost had a heart attack. I mean, how could we be worthy of having Lady Farina star in our show?
There's no need to think like that, and no need to keep addressing me as Lady. Just Farina is fine. I was wondering, if this troupe is so important to all of you, why does it have to disband? If the difficulties are purely financial, then there must be a solution. You could put the shows on pause while you look for a sponsor, for instance. Everyone seems so devoted to the troupe. I'm sure if you keep chipping away, you'll find a way through.
We all want to believe that, but some things are just beyond our control. Everything's been going downhill ever since we lost our director. She was the heart and soul of our troupe. She kept us going.
Her name was O'Reilly, and she was the founder as well as the artistic director of our troupe. And tragically, she was a victim in the serial disappearances case.
What?
Dang.
That's actually how I recognized these two. It was all thanks to their efforts that the true culprit was brought to justice. But still, no sentence can bring our director back to us.
She was a loyal fan of your performances, Miss Farina. They were what first inspired her to get into musical theater.
Oh,
She
wow.
rallied many people around her who were destitute or had lost their sense of purpose in life, and convinced them to join her troupe. She wrote her own scripts, acted on stage, and mentored each and every one of us. People loved our performances back then. We seemed to be going from strength to strength. Things were really looking up for us.
And then disaster struck.
Yeah. After that, the entire troupe fell into disarray. None of us know anything about script writing, let alone how to handle the business side of things. We've been doing the best we can. But despite our efforts, things are slowly but surely falling apart. It's agonizing. But ultimately, we'd rather end things now on our own terms than stick it out to the bitter end and watch all our dreams turn to dust.
Oh.
What a terrible waste. A gifted artist from humble beginnings who achieved so much and no doubt had much more to give. And then her life was so cruelly taken. I suppose it's fair to say then that this final show, besides being your farewell to the stage, is also your final gift for her?
Yes, exactly. We all miss her terribly.
Well, good thing I followed the traveler here. After hearing this tragic tale, I can no longer stand by and do nothing.
Farina.
I know what you're thinking, but I by no means plan to cross the boundary I've set for myself. Besides, they're no longer looking for a replacement anyway. I can, however, provide some artistic guidance from the vantage point of a highly experienced audience member. But only if you feel this is something that would help, of course.
Oh, most definitely. We'll take any guidance that you can give.
We
Sweet.
unfortunately don't have any budget for a consultant, though. Will that be a problem?
I don't need any compensation. All I'd ask in return, if you're willing, is that you tell me some more about the life and work of your late director. Something I've begun to realize since my departure from the Opera Epiclese is that there's a lot you don't see when you observe everything from on high. The law only judges criminal behavior and does not weigh human emotion. The court's verdict can settle the question of criminal liability, but what about all the unresolved emotions of the parties involved? What happens to them?
A verdict can bring emotional catharsis that come pouring out and flow away into infinity.
An interesting answer. But if you ask me, I think all emotion shall ultimately return home to the heart and slowly settle with the passage of time. Take, par exemple, how this troupe pines for their late director. Things such as this I have never witnessed before, and so I should like to observe, perchance to understand.
Huh. Still a fan of your old dramatic monologues then, huh? You just want to get back in on the action, don't you?
No. This is a completely different situation. Pearls before swine.
Ah, the name's not Swine, it's Paimon!
Would you be willing to join me? Come on, take a break from adventuring to listen to a story.
Thank you all so much. Our director was a huge fan of Miss Farina's performances, as of course we all are. Alright, follow me. We'll go to our usual practice space. Please excuse the size. It's a little on the smaller side.
That's all good, brother. Let's go. Gotta burn through this quest fast. Hopefully it's not underground. Hopefully I could just, like, run to it. Yeah. Ooh. Well, what do we have here?
Huh? Lady Farina?
What's Lady Farina doing here?
Hello all. Allow me to explain. As of today, Lady... Miss Farina will be supporting our production of The Little Oceanid in the role of artistic consultant. These two over here are the ones that made it possible. They kindly reached out to Miss Farina on our behalf. I'm sure they need no introduction. You bet! That was the trial of the century!
You helped bring our director's murderer to justice. We can't thank you enough.
Yes, sir.
Please don't mention it. We're just here to join in on the fun.
So, you were saying The Little Oceanid?
Yeah, that's the name of our final show. It's an unfinished script left behind by our director. One of our greatest regrets is that she never got to complete it. So, if we can bring it to the stage and make it a successful show, we can all take some solace in that.
Wait, but if it's not finished, then...
Finding an actress was the least of your problems.
Yeah, we've been battling issues on every front trying to realize this dream. Anyway, let me give you a quick summary of what the story's all about. The protagonist of the story is a young Oceanid who transforms herself into human form, despite the protests of her family. She longed to live just like any other human, and sure enough, she found friendship and even love. Everything seemed perfect. But one day, her true identity was exposed, and her world came crashing down around her.
So far, so good. A classic tale. What happened after that?
That's one of the issues we've been trying to deal with. Unfortunately, this was as far as the director got with her script. We need a proper ending so we can bring this musical to the stage, but people have different opinions on which direction to take it in.
We still haven't decided between a happy ending or a true-to-life tragedy.
By true to life, you mean the director's sudden disappearance?
Yeah, like they say, truth is stranger than fiction. But then there's the question of whether we really want to use the stage to pass our raw pain onto the audience.
Yep.
Exactly. A lot of the time, people come to watch a show just hoping for some light entertainment. We have to consider their emotional stake in this, not just our own. And one last thing. We're still waiting on confirmation from 2 of our main actors.
Oh my
The
god.
first is Paulo, who plays the protagonist's lover. He's locked himself away to focus on writing an ending for the script. But the deadline's passed, and we still haven't heard from him.
Oh my
The
god.
other is Villemont, who plays the main antagonist. He took the director's death pretty hard. Hasn't set foot in the city since. He did write to us, promising that he'll be there for the final performance, but we haven't seen or heard from him since. So we're not really sure what to make of that.
Huh. Although, now that we have Miss Farina helping us, maybe we should take the opportunity to get everyone back together.
What opportunity? What do you mean?
Maybe you're unaware, but your name has always been like a rallying cry for us.
Our director was constantly singing your praises. All of us look up to you as a role model.
Oh no.
Oh, stop! You're making me all flustered. Although, not in a bad way. I suspect the reason they're dragging their feet is that they have their doubts about whether the show will really go ahead, considering all the issues you've been facing. But one by one, all the obstacles are being removed. Now is the time to rally the troops.
Makes sense. Okay, priority number 1, let's check in with Paulo and see where he's at with the ending. He went back to Poisson a few days ago, said that staying in a friend's home might help him to relax and escape the feeling of isolation.
I thought the last thing his friend would want right now would be to take visitors, given that Poisson was flooded not too long ago. But I guess it's the opposite. A friend in need and all that.
Yeah, maybe he could use some company.
Poisson.
Oh no. Not the PTSD, bro. Oh no.
Nothing. I suppose my presence will be indispensable if we are to restore his faith in the show. So, allons-y. To Poisson!
Oh, okay. Had to get my robe on. But to Poisson we go. Hopefully she's not too traumatized by stepping foot in that place.
Pressure's on now. We gotta make sure we're fully prepared.
You're off to Poisson to find Paulo, right? Have a safe trip.
Alright, let's go. We out. Huh. Okay, I need to excuse me. Ooh, something in my throat. But I don't know what's up with my my OBS lately. Because while streaming, I'm not dropping any frames whatsoever. But when I'm recording stuff, there's like a whole bunch of dropped frames everywhere. Like, I wonder why. Like, what's up with that, bro? All right.
If I remember correctly, this is where he's staying.
Who is it?
It's me. Is the script ready?
You came all the way here for that?
Ooh.
All right, forget that for now. Just come on out. We've got some great news.
Nice try. Look, just give me some time, okay? I'm just wrapping up this last part of the script. I'll be out once I'm done.
Okay then. Looking forward to your masterpiece.
So, as expected, he's missed the deadline.
Yep.
The ending is one of the most important parts of the show. Even once he's done, it isn't final until we've all had the chance to read through and make sure we agree on it.
Someone told me they'd just seen you in Poisson. I assumed it was a case of mistaken identity, but sure enough, here you are. And Farina, too.
I was wondering if we might run into her.
So, you're here for Palo? Looks like he could be a while, so feel free to take a stroll around town in the meantime. I've made all the arrangements already.
Oh, it's okay. We can just wait here.
Uh-oh.
Thank you for being so considerate, Miss Navia. That sounds wonderful. We'll take that stroll. Get over here, you! How oblivious are you?
Oh, do they got beef with each other now?
How are things in Poisson?
Oh, yeah, because of
Any
Poisson.
better?
Things are on the mend, but it's a slow process. Some people may never recover from the trauma they experienced.
I'm sorry to hear that. I wish there was something I could do.
Please, must our conversations take such a depressing turn every time we meet? We all have painful memories, but we don't have to let them cloud everything we do. And if you're trying to make a new start, perhaps it's best if you don't bring up the past all the time.
Thank you for your words of comfort. You make a very good point. But for now, at least, I think I should stay with the way I'm feeling for a while longer.
It's okay. These things take time. Moving on from a painful experience is easier said than done. Which brings me to why I'm here. I thought you should probably know that not everyone here is ready to forgive and forget after the Hydro Archon's inaction in the face of catastrophe. To avoid upsetting the peace, I told the townspeople that everyone here is a member of the theater troupe, and that you are just an actress playing the role of Farina. It's not a perfect solution, but hopefully it means you won't have to lie low while you're here.
That's so thoughtful of you, Navia.
Well, what do you expect? I am the courageous and considerate president of Spina di Rosula, after all, like my father before me. Anyway, that was all. Look after her now.
All right.
Off we go then. Let's take a look up there. I don't have any friends that I can be frank and honest with, so maybe she's right. You're the closest thing to friends that I have.
Hey, dude, I'm gonna need you to come out and get that script done, bro. Hurry up. Are they piecing it together?
I'm so grateful that Miss Navia was so understanding. To be perfectly honest, I didn't know if I was ready to meet her. It's always easiest to just run away from your problems. But that never fixes anything. You can't get around the obstacles without facing them.
So that's why you were nervous when they brought up Poisson.
Yeah. I'd be lying if I said I wasn't scared of coming back here. Still, I felt it was something I had to do. As I was saying before, I want to see for myself the things that I never could in the past. I'd be overjoyed if the people here could find it in their hearts to forgive me. But they're more likely to unleash a tirade of vitriol against me, which, of course, I completely understand and accept.
Yeah.
I can tell people are watching me. I I'm sure some people here see the idea of someone coming to Poisson dressed as the Hydro Archon as extremely disrespectful.
Yeah.
I used to be terrified of the gaze of other people, especially when they had suspicion or resentment in their eyes. I guess I wasn't quite ready for this after all.
I'm not surprised you're making yourself go through all of this.
Maybe you've taken on a bit too much in one go.
I can't let myself see only the things I want to see. How would that make me any different from before?
Look, there seems to be a crowd gathering over there.
Uh-oh.
Probably time we made a move. How about we check out Spina di Rasula's ship? We should have a view of the whole of Poisson from there.
Yeah. Perhaps best we time to it's time to skedaddle. Skedaddle, skedoodle. Yeah, the people of Poisson don't fuck with the Hydro Archon no more. Should be a ramp right here, right? This ramp should take me up to where I need to go. Yes, sir.
I'm sorry. You probably just wanted a relaxing stroll, and here I am dumping all this heavy stuff on you.
We don't mind. It's actually refreshing to see a different side of you.
Great. Well, I appreciate your company, so please don't disappear just yet. I don't know whether you can tell, but the years of suffering and loneliness aren't the only reason I have a hard time facing up to who I used to be. As I stand here by the ship, I can't get the images of the rising water out of my mind. One after another, people were taken by the water. All those treasured lives and memories washed out of existence in an instant. They thought their god would protect them. They had absolute faith that when disaster struck, a divine power would save them from harm. And all the while, I played my part to perfection to convince them that was true. But then the floodwaters finally came, and the Hydro Archon did nothing.
You shouldn't look at it like that. You were only doing your duty.
I've had to go through so many moments like that for the sake of protecting the truth. As time went on, it got harder and harder to bear, and I became more lonely and isolated. Eventually, I realized I had nothing left except the truth. I became terrified of completely failing in my task, and was haunted by the thought of being left all alone, weeping on my throne. Fortunately, we were able to avoid the worst-case scenario thanks to the help of heroic individuals such as yourselves. Everyone rose to their responsibilities, and I finally regained my freedom. But on some level, freedom also means no longer being needed. I have no further use to people.
Oh, don't say that.
I would have never imagined you'd see it that way.
A reward?
So now, because now you can finally speak your heart.
I guess so. And back then, I didn't even dare to dream about having someone to confide in. I was scared of someone recognizing me for who I truly was, and exposing the secret I swore to protect. Believe in the Farina you see on stage. She is the one you can trust. I had to keep all my feelings, all my curiosity about life to myself. No one could be allowed to know. That's what I really meant when I said I'm no good at maintaining relationships.
So that's where you were coming from. Paimon totally thought you were just a bit of a diva at heart.
Could you please get off my case? I don't know what's gotten into you today. I'm making an effort here. You could at least try to do the same. I do. I once had nothing but the truth, and now I'm finally free to live my own life again. And even though I have no idea where I'm going right now, at least the choice is in my hands. All right, it's about time to head back. Paulo should have finished the ending by now.
Sure. Okay, let's head back and check it out.
Alright. Bro, this character, bro. Oh my god. Easily like one of my favorite characters in this game right now. Like, she just came out of... I'm honestly like shocked how she just... There's like so many qualities about Farina as a character that I like now that we like experience the Archon quest and like how she's evolved from it, you know? It's honestly incredible, dude. These are like one of the best... I'd honestly debate like the best Genshin Impact characters so far, honestly. But that's just me though.
Didn't you say you needed to watch what you eat? You're supposed to be cutting down on fried foods, not wolfing down copious quantities of fish and chips, you know?
Come on. It's not every day we get to dine at Spina di Rosula's expense. Can you believe how generous she is? I'm not about to pass on free food. Anyway, my character doesn't need to be slim and good looking. That's your job.
Are you kidding me right now? It's not your character's health I'm worried about, it's yours. I've spent my whole life battling the effects of ill health, and it kills me to watch you willingly ruin yours by filling yourself up with junk all the time.
Oh no, looks like they're arguing again. We're back! Could you maybe put your differences aside for a moment?
Ah, you're back. We've been enjoying Spina di Rosula's VIP treatment in your stead. Paulo's nearly done. We shouldn't have to wait too much longer.
Great! So you were discussing your characters, right? We heard she's playing the Oceanid who turns into a human girl. What about you?
Me? I'm an Oceanid too.
He was originally supposed to take the form of a crane, but he outgrew that role.
Sheesh!
The costume, at least. So now he's playing the boar instead.
Sorry.
The boar's not a bad character, actually. He's the one who raises the little Oceanid, yes?
That's right. He has some pretty memorable lines too, like when he imparts some solemn words of wisdom to the little Oceanid. If you become human, you can reveal your secret to no one. You will face suffering and loneliness. Is this truly what you want?
Wait, that sounds kind of familiar.
It's the most important line in the whole script. I think it's a symbolic statement about our director's life and legacy. She kept quiet about all the trials and tribulations she faced in running our troupe, allowing us to devote ourselves fully to performing. It was only after she was gone that we realized how tough her job really was.
You mentioned earlier that the troupe is like your home.
Yeah. I was born with an incurable illness, and once my family found out it couldn't be treated, they decided they didn't want me anymore.
What?
I spent some years taking whatever work I could find and trying to manage my illness with various medicines. But whenever I had a bad flare-up, I'd be lying in an alleyway for days at a time. It was like that until the director found me one day. She told me I had a great voice and asked if I was interested in studying singing from her. I said yes. She took me under her wing, taught me to both sing and act, helped me find Mora for my meds, took care of me when my condition decided to flare up. I know it was all a huge burden on her.
She sounds like a really incredible person.
She really was. She gave everything she had to her troupe and the people in it. All of us were so proud to call her our director. I was a lost child too when she found me. As the child of a murderer, my parents weren't around when I was little, so I got sent to an orphanage.
Oh my
The other
god.
kids were always picking fights with me. They'd say things like, "Come on, you must be pretty tough if you're the son of a murderer." It was just to taunt me, though. I was an easy target, and they knew it. One day, I got beaten up so bad that I just couldn't take it anymore, so I ran away. I lost all faith in humanity by that point. Thought the whole world was out to get me.
Let me guess. Fortunately, the next person you ran into was the director.
Yeah, for the first time in my life, I was somewhere I felt safe. And I promised myself I'd stay here until the day the group parted ways.
The day you hoped would never come. How times change.
Oh, you're finally done? Get your butt over here. There's someone I need to introduce you to. This is our new artistic consultant, Miss Farina.
Farina? The Farina? Oh my god, how did you manage to wrangle that?
Please, the honor is all mine. I was profoundly moved to hear about your troupe and your wonderful director. I just wanted to do something to help.
Same here.
Even so, this is just... Oh, wow. I'm sorry. I'll try to calm down. Now, where was I? Ah, yes, the script, of course. Let me give you a rundown of how the story unfolds in my version of the script. I'm sure you're already familiar with the beginning of the story. A little Oceanid decides she wants to become a human, against the wishes of her family. She finds love and friendship in the bustling city. But then, disaster strikes. The people start to notice that all the fresh water in the surrounding area is slowly disappearing. The soil is becoming arid, plants and flowers are withering, and the people begin to panic. The little Oceanid, Cleo, and her lover decide to do something about it and investigate the truth of the matter together. In the end, they discover that all the waste and pollution created by humans over the years has caused the fresh water to flee the land, as if driven by a consciousness of its own.
Consciousness? You mean the water is sentient?
Water as a conscious entity. There's actually quite a few stories that explore this theme.
Since the little Oceanid is a water spirit, she immediately understands how the water is feeling. She then tells her lover about her true identity, as well as the truth behind the crisis. Her lover accepts her for who she is, and works with her to find a way to bring the water back. However, unbeknownst to them, there were some people eavesdropping when she revealed her secret. The little Oceanid is accused of being directly responsible for driving the water away, and faces the greatest dilemma of her life.
And then?
In the end, she makes the brave decision to sacrifice herself to save her lover, and the rest of humanity.
Huh? But didn't they all treat Cleo like a villain? Why would she want to save them after that?
Well, she mainly wanted to save her lover, plus everyone who'd stood up for her.
Through her love for her human partner, she was able to find an even greater love, one that extended to all of humanity. Surely the biggest strength of Cleo's character.
There's actually something else that bothers me. You know the protagonist is supposed to represent the director, right? And she never had the chance to become a hero in our world. If we're serious about dedicating this show to her memory, we should make the ending as true to life as possible. What about if the little Oceanid is hounded to death by people who hate her, her lover makes sure her secret never gets out, and humanity continues down the path to extinction?
Dang!
That sounds like too cruel of an ending to me, and perhaps a little irresponsible to present to the audience.
That ending would be a perfect mirror to Director Aureli's death, both arbitrary and meaningless. On the day when she went missing, Director Aureli had instructed us all, somewhat out of the blue, to leave the court of Fontaine and wait for her outside the city. We waited and waited at the rendezvous point, but she never came. By the time we returned to the city, she disappeared without a trace. We looked for her. The Gardamex looked for her, but she was nowhere to be found. Increasingly, all the signs seemed to point to her being the latest victim in the serial disappearances case.
The director was the kindest soul in the world. Yet she was senselessly sacrificed for the sake of a so-called experiment by someone who had nothing to do with her at all.
But doesn't the way she suddenly told you to leave the city suggest that maybe she had some sense of what was about to happen? It almost seems as if she was moving you to safety.
I've been trying to follow up on that ever since, but all my efforts so far have turned up nothing. Villemont might know something, but he won't open up to me.
Villemont? The one who's playing the role of the villain?
Yeah.
Uh-oh.
He's been overwhelmed by grief. I think the director's death hit him hardest of all.
Grief? Guilt, more like. Also, I have a hard time imagining that anyone took it harder than me. Because, well, speaking of the play being true to life, I was deeply, madly in love with O'Reilly.
What? You kept that one quiet.
It's time to be upfront with you all. No more keeping secrets from each other. We'll never be able to agree on the ending if we can't be honest about how we feel. I did tell her how I felt once, but she turned me down pretty much straight away. She said that we were all like brothers and sisters to her, and she never considered us as potential romantic partners. Not that it came as a shock or anything. It was what I was expecting to hear. So I told her I'd always be there for the troupe, and I'd always be there for her. I said, maybe one day in the future, when everyone's settled into their own lives and on the up and up, and managing the troupe no longer required her constant attention, well, maybe then she could reconsider what she really wanted in her life. And now, that day will never come.
Oh, Paulo.
So if I'm the one writing this ending, then I'm gonna make sure it does right by O'Reilly. I won't let anyone get in the way of that.
In that case, you have to straighten things out with Villemont once and for all, face to face. We've all had our differences of opinion over the ending, but those two have never seen eye to eye on anything.
I
One of
have
them
my
has to
suspicions,
compromise
but
if
I'll
we're
keep
ever
it to
going reach a
myself.
final decision.
Well, if that's where we're
I
at,
shall keep
looks
it to
like it's time
myself.
go visit Villemont.
For
Are
now.
you ready to face the truth?
Honestly, I'm slightly terrified. But for the sake of our final performance, I'll do whatever it takes. Funny you should ask, though. You really do get what I'm going through right now.
I certainly do. Come on, everyone. Allons-y!
Alright, let's get moving. All the way up here. Let's go. Alright.
This is tough going. Delphi, are you sure you can manage in your condition?
I could ask you the same question. Try to keep up.
How my commission's looking, dog. Ooh, all done. Gimme.
As if this journey wasn't tough enough already without a roadblock.
Don't worry. We should all be fine with the traveler here. We don't need to take a detour. Wait, why are you all looking at me? You're not seriously expecting me to fight, are you?
We're just curious, that's all. I don't think anyone's ever seen Farina in a fight before.
Yeah, but don't you remember why? The Hydro Archon willingly gave up all her power so it could be converted into Indemnitium. Miss Farina said so herself.
Precisely. And I'm not even the Hydro Archon anymore, so all my power is gone anyway. As much as it pains me, unfortunately, I should just stay put. I'm more like a damsel in distress more than anything.
That sounded so smug. Ugh, secondhand embarrassment is unbearable.
C'est la vie indeed. Alas, I am forced to watch on helplessly as a more brave and seasoned adventurer than I swoops in to save the day.
Aw, too bad. I was so pumped to feast my eyes on fight mode for Rena.
Sorry to leave all the heavy lifting to you.
Don't worry, piece of cake.
Lego.
I'm going in! Barbados, guide us. Time to shine! Let's light it up!
C6 Bennett, go Burr. Wait a minute. Whoops.
Adventure hope! Game set. Time's over. Everybody stand back!
Hey, yo.
I swear by my soul! Bravo! Good show!
Goodbye.
You certainly live up to your reputation.
Yeah, thank you. Anyway, the path is cleared now, so onwards and upwards.
I do want to do this, but maybe later. I'll just pin it for now. Hey, yo. I said I'll do it later now.
Vilma, are you there?
Huh? Oh, it's you guys. Wait, what's Lady Farina doing here?
I can explain. We've been rounding up the whole troop. We now have everyone except you.
So, you think knowing the truth about the director's disappearance will help you write an ending to the script that pleases everyone? I care just as much as everyone else about making the Little Oceanid a success. That's why I wanted to wait until after the show. If I open this can of worms now, I just don't want to make things difficult between us. We're supposed to be a unit when we're on stage.
Vilma, avoiding the truth will not help anyone. Unless you mean to suggest that Aurelie's death had something to do with you.
I don't want to talk about it.
What?
Listen, Vilma. I used to think that my love for Aurelie was a point of shame. I never brought it up to anyone. But now, I've made up my mind to put it all on the table. I'm prepared to face everything, to sacrifice everything for the sake of the show. The Little Oceanid cannot be complete unless we do justice to Aurelie on an emotional level.
This is why people think of you as not being the smart one. As you all know already, the troupe was kept afloat not from ticket sales, but donations from the audience. Of course, that was nowhere near enough. We took on side jobs when we weren't performing, but even then, the troupe's financial situation was pretty dire. So, anyway, one day after a show, a merchant came to me and offered us a huge sponsorship. In return, we just had to provide the audience with their drinks during performances.
No!
It seemed like a win-win. So, I said yes to it on the spot without consulting the director. It was only when the merchant came to deliver the goods that I realized the drink in question was synth.
Yeah, she drunk
Isn't
some.
that the drink paddled by the culprit behind the serial disappearances case?
Yep.
I freaked out when I saw the boxes. And I told the director everything right away. She was completely shocked as well. But she didn't reprimand me for making the decision without consulting her. Instead,
She contacted the merchant and stated that the troupe could not agree to this collaboration. The merchant was furious, berated us for going back on our word, and threatened to sue us for damages. The amount was astronomical. There was no way we'd be able to pay.
And then?
I was going to sort it on my own, but the director stopped me. She said that this was an issue for the whole troupe and it wasn't my fault. But things only got worse from there. The synth merchant just wouldn't let up, and then suddenly the director told us all to leave the city one day. I knew then that things must have reached a boiling point. I admit this whole thing was my mistake. I didn't dare to tell any of you the truth back then, and after the director disappeared, I was even more afraid to say anything.
Dang. You brought the director to the attention of the synth dealers. Your mistake gave them a motive to kidnap and murder her.
Yeah, I got Aurelie killed. There, I said it. Happy now?
Hey, don't say that.
You traitor! You knew Aurelie was in danger. Why in God's name didn't you tell us? What do you mean you were afraid? This was a life and death situation. We could have saved her. How could you be so stupid?
Please, try not to get too worked up.
Yeah, listen to him. You need to stay calm.
Stay calm? How can I stay calm? This guy got Aurelie murdered. She was the love of my life. And he has the gall to try and high-road us, claiming that he kept his mouth shut for the sake of the show. How about taking some responsibility for what he's done?
All I can say is I'm sorry. Truly. I wanted to apologize to everyone in the troupe, but that won't bring back the director. What good is my apology now? I'm just a coward who made an awful, terrible mistake that I can never take back. Beat me up if you want. Kill me if you prefer. It's what I deserve. End my life so I can meet the director and apologize to her in person.
Get out of my sight. Go, get lost. I don't ever want to see your face again.
That's enough! You've screamed and shouted at each other for long enough. Now pipe down, both of you! Can you stop conflating the show on stage with your real-life relationships in the troupe? You keep saying that you want to use this final performance to pay tribute to your director and celebrate her life. How can you do that if you're just using it as an excuse to vent your own emotions?
You're right.
I'm sorry.
On stage, the lead role is the focal point of the audience's attention. And you're all used to seeing the director as the heart of the troupe. But in her own life, her greatest desire wasn't to be the center of attention. I can tell how much she loved you all, and how much she loved the troupe. What she wanted was to build a warm home for all of her brothers and sisters. To shield you all from the storms that rage in the world outside. That's how you should remember her. And that's what you should be celebrating. I understand why you're trying to make her the hero of the story, but isn't she your hero already? After everything she did for you?
Yeah.
So think hard about what that means. And then think again about what you hope to achieve by arguing with each other. If you really hate each other and can't reconcile your differences, then you could just call it quits now. Why bother with the final performance if the group is already fractured? But you can't bring yourself to do that, can you? You care too much about Director Aurelie and the home she built you all to let go. What are you laughing at? I don't see what's so funny.
Sorry, I didn't mean it that way. It's just that, for a moment there, it felt like our director was back with us again. If she'd seen Paulo and Vilmont at each other's throats like that, she would have scolded them exactly like you did, in that same stern voice.
Really? But she sounded like such a gentle person.
Of course she was. Even her harshest lectures came from a place of kindness, and it showed. She really was a truly outstanding person.
What you said, it really puts everything into perspective.
I'm truly sorry. I really meant for this to be a genuine apology, but I ended up making it all about me and my self-pity.
It's all right. Let's save all this for after the performance.
So, the ending. What are we gonna do about it?
Clearly, everyone needs to take a step back for now and reflect on what really matters. When emotions are running high, things get lost in the fray. The end of the story needs to focus back on Aurelie herself. She's the true star of the show.
Mm-hmm. It might actually be possible to find out more about her fate.
What do you mean?
The Traveler is right. You once investigated that underwater synth base and recovered items belonging to the victims. If you could find anything that Aurelie left behind, perhaps we can get a better sense of what she went through in her final days.
You really think that's possible?
I trust that nobody would object to the ending of the story being based on Aurelie's true feelings.
No.
Well, we'll leave this in your capable hands.
Come, let's pay a visit to the Palais Mermonia. The rest of you, head back to the rehearsal location for now, and wait for our good news.
Alright, let's go. What a twist! I gotta say, as annoyed as I am that I gotta do this quest first before I engage with the event, I gotta say, it's pretty good. I like it a lot. So I'm not too mad. Okay.
You want to review some recovered items connected to victims of the serial disappearances case? But, that case has been closed for quite a while now. Still, since you were the ones who discovered and submitted the evidence in the first place, you don't actually have to submit an application. Okay, please hold on. I'll have someone dig them out.
So, this is all Aurelie left behind. Just whatever she was carrying on her person and this tattered old notebook.
Hey! It's full of script lines! And sketches too! Looks like they show where the different props should be placed on stage.
Let me take a look. Maybe there's something in here from after she was kidnapped. Aha! I found something. To whoever discovers this diary. Let's see. Looks like she kept a detailed record of her captor's actions. She even mentions the truth behind the experiments on dissolving young women. If we'd had the chance to examine this notebook carefully back then, it would have been a conclusive piece of evidence proving Vacher's guilt.
Vacher took so many lives. It's still so unthinkable how many victims he had.
I guess Aurelie must have written all of this down in the hope that her records would one day be of use to investigators. Wait, it cuts off.
Is something wrong?
Her handwriting here gets patchier and more illegible by the line. She probably didn't have much strength left. Her final words are... I'll let you read them for yourselves.
Someone else was taken. That makes 6, or perhaps the 7th. Someone tried to escape yesterday but was caught. She hasn't been seen since. Was that yesterday? Maybe not. I've long since lost track of time. Sorry, I don't know if writing this is of any use or how much longer I can do it for. I can already see my fate approaching, but what terrifies me even more is the thought of seeing others from the troop here. Have I truly protected them? Sorry, I'm so sorry I can write no more. I think I have a fever and my old stomach troubles have returned, but nobody has given me any medicine. I suppose I am more fortunate than Cressy. The pain keeps her awake all night. I suppose they think that anything goes so long as the experimental subjects can be used up before they die. So damp here, I have given her my blanket. So cold, so cold, so cold. As long as one persists, all things will pass. There will be a reward for hard work. I like to tell them such things, but it is now I who am losing my grip. If anyone sees this, troops safe, I them important. Regret, Clea. This page is an absolute mess, and the writer's pen seems to have wandered its surface at random. Only some words can be made out, and barely at that. From this page onward, the diary stops to be replaced with lyrics from musicals. Some are in the form of newspaper clippings, others are handwritten with many crossings out and changes. It is apparent that the pages have been referenced often, and that this was the personal notebook of artistic director Aurelie. Sheesh.
She was so terrified.
She watched a girl get dissolved right in front of her and had to wait for her own death in silence.
She may have been a mighty hero in the eyes of her troop, but at the end of the day, she was only human. I can't bear to think how painful and lonely her final days must have been. Wait. This part on the last page sounds strangely familiar.
One page has been torn out, folded up and placed next to the last blank page. If you become human, you can reveal your secret to no one. You will face suffering and loneliness. Is this truly what you want? Because I am an older sister to them. I love them. She was an Oceanid. Yo! Just like Farina, just like everybody else in the So is she secretly still alive?
If you become human, you can reveal your secret to no one. You will face suffering and loneliness. Is this truly what you want?
Isn't that the most important line in the Little Oceanid?
Because I am an older sister to them.
Oh.
So she didn't regret her decision, even as she sat in silence, waiting for death to come. I'm sure this is what the troop would have hoped to hear as well. She had their utmost trust, admiration, and love, and she truly deserved it. Let's go. It's time for them to learn Director Aurelie's final thoughts.
I wonder if that means... Yeah, I get the emotional part of it right there. But I wonder if that final phrase implies that she's the little Oceanid, right? And so she didn't actually die. I'm just spitballing here. There we go. After reading through the notebooks, some are lost for words, some weep bitterly, and some grind their teeth and howl with rage. Make a decision.
She deserves a hero's farewell. If that's the only way to convey to the audience the courage and selflessness that she showed in the face of death, then it's a meaningful way to end the story.
Even in the last moments of her life, she was still leaving a trail for others to follow.
She did her best to protect as many people as possible, even if it meant sacrificing herself. We know what choice our little Oceanid would have made now. I don't think any more discussion is necessary.
Mm-hmm.
Well, Vilmont, if we put the past aside for now, do you think you can bring yourself to go ahead with the show?
I will channel all my regret and put it into my performance to make this a show worthy of our director. I won't
Let's
ask
do
for
it.
forgiveness, and you don't need to worry about my feelings. This final farewell show should be about Director Aurelie and her alone.
Then it seems like we've reached a consensus.
Yo, Gardevoir, what's up, dude?
This will turn out to be the most mesmerizing performance of your lives.
Really? How can you be so sure when you've never even seen them perform before?
Don't underestimate my experience. After watching a countless number of musicals, I've learned one important thing. If you want to move the audience with your music, you must fully commit and immerse yourself in your role, pouring all your emotion into your performance. And aren't human emotions, love, hate, regret, and hope, just the most mesmerizing things in this world? I don't believe anybody could be more committed to bringing this story to life on the stage than they are now.
Thank you for the vote of confidence, Miss Farina. And thank you for supporting us through all this.
Then, let's not delay things any longer. We need to discuss the details of the ending and get it nailed down once and for all.
Yeah, let's get it.
Actually, before that, I'd like to make a proposal.
When Genshin give us a limited 5-star character, technically they already did. It was Aloy if you had a PlayStation account for Genshin. I think Aloy is about as good as it's gonna get for Genshin, boy. Unfortunately.
During the curtain call, please allow me to use the director's name instead of my own.
Huh? But then...
After all, this role was originally meant to be played by the director. I'm just filling in for her. Besides, a role commemorating her life should be associated with her name.
Well, if you're sure you're okay with that, I have no objection to it.
Now we're talking like a serious acting troupe. Alright, I'll leave you to fine-tune your musical while I go and procure a stage.
Alright, we're making progress, man. Let's go.
Oh, it's okay. Our usual place doesn't need a reservation.
That place? Oh, don't be silly. For an extraordinary show, we need an extraordinary stage. By which I, of course, mean the Opera Epiclese.
Whoa, wait, what?
No. That's never going to work. It's far too fancy for the likes of us.
Oh wow,
What are
Farina
you
looking
afraid
out.
of? Surely you don't think that Aurelie's story is unworthy of the grandest stage in Fontaine.
It's not a limited 5-star character. She doesn't have constellation. Yeah, she doesn't have any constellations, but she is a 5-star character. And she's also limited. She's actually one of the most limited 5-star characters in existence in Genshin right now because you literally can't get her anymore. So you either have her or you don't. That's just kind of messed up actually. But yeah, she's ironically one of the rarest character to have in Genshin now. Because you literally can't get her anymore.
No, that's not what I meant.
It is supposed to be your grand finale, right?
Go big or go home.
I have no problem with it then. How about the rest of you?
But yeah, if we're being real here, she is a 3-star. She's a 3-star character.
I'll take your silence as a yes. Thank you for giving us this opportunity. It really is a dream come true.
Well, then don't disappoint me. If you mess this up, it'll reflect poorly on me too. Come on, we'll need to get the go-ahead from Nerulette. I know just where to find him.
I gotta say, man. I know I said this already. Kinda annoyed that I had to do Farina's quest before working on this event. But I gotta say, it's pretty good, man. I think this is one of my favorite character quests so far, bro. I like it a lot. I love the characters.
Scene. Maybe we should stop the music just before Cleo takes the stage?
First Miss Farina, now the opera epiclese? If only the director was still with us.
Hey, come on. There's no point in dwelling on that now. We have a lot of work to do.
Yeah, you're right. Now's not the time to get all melancholy.
What you got to say, Elaine? She got nothing to say. Excuse me. There's something in my throat again. Ugh. Elaine got nothing to say.
Best of luck to you.
Oh, yeah, these two busy. They hard at work. They go. Is Honkai Star Rail community want a 5-star character? Free 5-star character? Yeah, Dr. Ratio. If I remember correctly, he comes out in the next, yeah, his banner goes live in the next 2 weeks. And, is it the next 2 weeks or is it literally next week, like next Tuesday? Yeah, I think his banner goes live next Tuesday. Like, not this Tuesday coming up, but the one after it. And, when his banner goes live, in the mail, you'll get a free copy of Dr. Ratio. So, that's gonna be fire. That's one less banner that I have to pull on. But yeah, Honkai Star Rail gave its community a free 5-star character that wasn't, that word on the street isn't complete garbage before Genshin.
Hey, look at that. Looks like I guessed right.
You were just guessing?
I knew you'd be here.
I'm here merely for a short break. It has been a while, Miss Farina. And you too, Traveler and Paimon. What might I assist you with today?
I would like to book the Opera Epiclese for an event. You see...
I understand. The process for booking the Opera Epiclese is complex and can be somewhat cumbersome. But given that
Genshin
the
could
request
never.
is coming from the three of you,
Easy.
I see no reason to make things unduly difficult. The story of the Little Oceanid is most fascinating. I'm looking forward to seeing it performed on stage. I will say, however, that I am surprised to see your passion for the performing arts rekindled after all that has happened.
Yeah, Genshin could never, because if they could've, they would have been done it by now. Like, but I missed your reaction on the version 1.6 live stream. Oh, don't worry about it. I actually wasn't able to watch that live stream live because of a lot of IRL stuff that I had to deal with, a lot of personal stuff that I had to deal with at the time. I was just way too busy to live stream, so I missed the live stream. And I got spoiled while I was out dealing with stuff. So I did a live stream like later that night, talking about everything that was discussed in the version 1.6 live stream, but I didn't get to watch it live. So that sucks. I didn't get to have a live reaction, but it's okay.
Huh? What
This is the first time that I've seen you like this since your departure from deityhood.
At first, I just felt bad about rejecting them, so I wanted to learn a little bit more about their situation. But one thing led to another, and well, here we are.
Yeah, let's go.
Past, we sat in our high chairs in the court, giving our opinions on isolated cases, all while knowing very little about the human stories behind each and every one. Maybe it's because I finally become an ordinary person and gained my freedom, but I've developed a great sense of curiosity about their lives.
I am truly delighted to see you find a new lease on life. Now that you've regained some confidence, have you had any thoughts regarding a return to the stage?
Why would you suddenly ask a question like that?
Well, if the Little Oceanid turns out to be a great success, it will no doubt become a classic. Many theater companies are certain to add it to their repertoire. The experiences and decisions of the protagonist Cleo are all modeled after your own. Naturally, this makes you eminently suited to playing the leading role.
I'm sure she's been picking up that vibe too. And that's why she's been getting so attached to the role of the play here. What's your true reaction when you found out we got 10 free pulls and a 5-star character? Farina bratty Archon. She's still, yeah, Farina's still kind of bratty, but you know, she's growing on me. She's more of a adorable, you know, adorable bratty, not like an annoying bratty, you know. And plus, there's that other side of her that's just like, you gotta like that like you grow like really attached to, as far as like her character goes. And she's easily like one of my favorite characters in the game right now. As far as my true reaction when it was revealed we got yet another free 10 pull and a free 5-star character, I lost my shit. I actually lost my shit. I thought it was an early April Fool's joke when I saw Dr. Ratio show up on the live stream. I legit thought I was going insane.
It would truly be a shame if you did not take this opportunity to allow audiences to enjoy your outstanding acting talents once more.
Haven't I already made myself clear?
Farina simp.
I won't act
Hey, I guess I am, bro.
ever again. No
She got me.
exceptions.
She's my favorite of the Archons right now. She got me.
There is no lack of fine actors or inspirational stories, either on or off the stage. This experience is a case in point. I feel like I've learned a lot, and it has already been well worth the price of admission. I must admit, though, I'm a little envious. They're quite fortunate to be able to bid farewell to their past in such a magnificent manner.
I see. Well, I'm glad to learn that you have found a role to play that you enjoy, be it on the stage or not. I sincerely hope the show will serve as the grandest of finales. I will have my staff book the date and mail the relevant paperwork to the troupe once the details are confirmed.
Thanks, Nervalette.
Sweet.
You are very welcome.
Nuvalet, that guy, bro. If Farino didn't release literally right after this dude, I would have pulled for him. He's really that guy. I just hope his rerun is actually later and rather than sooner, so that I can actually like save up enough to get this guy, because he's pretty cool. There's a lot of cool characters and there's a decent amount of cool characters in Fontaine right now, in my opinion. Like after like researching like their like backstories and stuff like that, like Lynette's starting to grow on me. Not sure if I'd build her up until I like get a whole bunch of constellations and stuff for her. But you know, Lynette as a character has grown on me. Barazan grew on me. Ferminette grew on me because of that one event. Yeah, there's a lot of cool characters in Fontaine, bro. There's also Weissel. I'm gonna butcher his name like crazy, but W guy, Wesley, Melee, Cryo Catalyst guy. No, his character story is pretty cool too. There's a lot characters in Fontaine that I like right now. I won't be able to get all of them, but I like all of them, bro. So far, there's not a single character in Fontaine from the Fontaine like playable roster that I just straight up like dislike or like vehemently like despise their like mere existence, you know? In other words, none of the Fontaine roster is Dory, okay? I know that's a low bar to reach, but you know, every character can't win them all. So far, none of the Fontaine characters have been Dory, so they've been awesome to me.
Good news, everyone.
Hopefully, the Genshin devs keep it up.
The Opera Epiclese is booked. Thanks to my eloquent and impassioned speech, Monsieur Neuvillette was moved to provide us with a fitting stage for this special performance.
But Honkai Star Rail characters are better designed.
For this opportunity. But we now have
Yeah, that's a fair opinion. That's a fair opinion to have. I don't agree, but that's a fair opinion to have.
A touching story, a magnificent venue, and last but not least, a passionate and dedicated cast. Now, let's work together and make this show the best it can be.
I feel like I'm stuttering my words a lot because of
wonderful.
the stuff in my throat. I really hope I'm not getting sick, bro.
Time we'll have to rehearse.
That Rona going around like mad right now.
I think it's really going to resonate with the audience now.
Wow, you two had a constructive conversation? That's great!
Oh, communication is vital to any good performance.
Look at us. We've come so far. I never could have pictured this scene a few days ago.
It's amazing.
Oh, Jean have also. Hey, yo! Calm down. Hey, yo! Calm down. Put it back in your pants real quick, dog.
Please feel free to give us any comments or suggestions you have. We really value your input.
Hey, Loic, get over here.
I mean, you're right. That's true. But like, you know. Oh, look at this picture right here, bro. Get that screenshot. Oh yeah, they're acting it out. Yo, who's that blue-haired chick?
Cursed Cleo. She stole the waters of life from us. She's a fraud, and she must pay for her crimes.
This has nothing to do with her. The ignorance and hatred of our people is to blame. How can we hope to win back the water's favor if we don't change our ways?
This guy could be useful. Take him hostage. If Cleo wants him back, she'll have to show herself.
Ooh.
Leave this place, oh little Oceanid, and never, ever look back.
Oh, they going stupid so far. They going crazy. They acting their asses off. Yeah, who's that blue-haired chick? Hey, yo, is my theory already being proven correct, bro?
If only.
What should we do? It's almost time for her to take the stage.
Why does it have to be now?
Oh, that's her. She just changed her. That's her with the makeup on. She's not an Oceanid. Oh, thank God. Ah, but her illness is flaring up. Dang.
Hey, what's going on? You're due on stage any second now. Oh no, not again. But why? What about your new meds? Did they stop working?
They've been getting less and less effective over time. I've had to keep increasing my dose.
What? I thought they cure it. So they were only managing your symptoms?
I figured whatever it took to get me through this final performance.
How could you do this to yourself? And after that lecture you gave me about not looking after my health.
I'm sorry. I've let everyone down.
You... This is a conversation for another time. How can the show go on without its star performer?
Oh no, they gotta do something, bro.
Miss Farina, I'd like to make a request of you.
Say no more. If you're sick, you need to rest. I know what you're going to ask.
Ooh, Farina
Blow
gonna
it.
step
Your
up, bro.
character has no more scenes, correct?
Oh, yeah. I think my scenes are all done. Although, I do have one more line. But I guess another guy in the troupe with a similar voice register can
Bye.
take it.
Oh, I guess they're heading out.
Why?
Take care,
Please take
Gardevoir.
Dolphy back to her place to rest. I'll sing the finale.
Ooh. Yep, Farina
From
pulling
the
up, bro.
sublime to the ridiculous. After all that, everything's come full circle.
Thank you, Miss Farina. I'm so sorry to put you in this position after everything you said.
Never mind. What's done is done. It's really my own fault for getting in too deep. No one likes regrets, myself included. Leave it to me. I've watched you rehearse so many times that I've learned Cleo's part by heart.
I do not doubt your acting skills, but please allow me to ask just one more question. After all, this show is dedicated to the life and legacy of our director. What, in your opinion, is the reason Cleo shines so brightly?
It's her pure heart. Despite all the pain and loneliness she had to endure, she never once stopped believing in the beauty in this world.
Yep.
Well said. I leave Director O'Reilly in your hands.
Here she go. Yo!
Is she here yet?
Must she get here?
She's not coming!
You're wrong. She's here.
Si je pouvais vivre dans l'eau, le monde serait-il plus beau? Me pardonneras-tu, ô chère mère? L'eau dans son courant fait danser nos vies, et la cité est nourrie, ainsi que toi, mon doux amour.
But what about your wish?
My wish.
If you become human, you can reveal your secret to no one. You will face suffering and loneliness. Is this truly what you want?
Le grand amour ne suffit pas, seul un adieu fleurira. C'est notre histoire de vie, douce et amère. Moi, je suis, serai toujours là, à voir le monde et sa beauté, et ça ne changera jamais, jamais.
Yo. Bro, this is fantastic, dude. Wait, did she actually get a vision on the stage?
Is it just me? Or was that Lady Farina on the stage just now?
She hasn't been seen for a while now, and she just appears out of nowhere? Gotta say, though, her acting skills are as superb as ever.
The Little Oceanid, Cleo, played by Aurélie Fumont.
Wait, that's not her name. What's going on?
I don't know, maybe it's just a doppelganger.
I've spent a lot of time out of the spotlight, and they didn't use my name during the curtain call either. Hopefully, not too many people recognized me. It's too bad that I had to break the one clear rule I'd managed to make for myself, even if I had no choice. Still, I have to admit that, despite everything, it felt good to be back on the stage again.
Finally, we would like to give a special thanks to our artistic consultant and event coordinator, Miss Farina.
Hey, that's not what we agreed on!
Oh, so it was Farina after all. She's back.
Honestly, what is he doing? He should have run that by me first.
All right, calm down, don't be mad. This was a group decision. We just didn't want your contributions to go unacknowledged. After all, it's been the rule in Fontaine since ancient times that everyone's work, visible or invisible, is equally deserving of recognition.
Yes, I know the rule, but
Yeah, that she did get a vision from that.
it should still be applied on a case-by-case basis. I wasn't ready for this yet.
It's no big deal. What's the worst that could happen?
At most, you might be asked to sign a few autographs later.
Oh, yeah? Well, since you think it's so easy, you can sign them for me.
This is a great chat and all, but can we talk about that crazy thing that happened during the show? It nearly gave Paimon a heart attack. Paimon flew over to where she was supposed to be and was about to drop the prop vision, and then suddenly, a real one popped out of thin air!
Oh, that.
Yep.
I've got no idea what happened there either. But hey, it worked pretty well, didn't it? I'll bet the audience has never seen such a realistic prop.
Wait, what about Dolphy? I wonder how she's doing.
Oh, let's go check on her as soon as we finish clearing the stage.
Yes. Plus, she'll definitely want to hear how the end of the show went. If nothing else, we can safely say that we accomplished what we set out to do.
She actually got a vision live on stage. That's crazy.
Did anyone see where Miss Farina went? Oh, I want to get her autograph, but I can't find her anywhere.
I thought Cleo's actress sang very well. Why did they swap her out at the end?
I don't know. Maybe that's just how it was scripted. I wasn't expecting such an incredible performance from an amateur troupe. They didn't seem out of place on the big stage at all.
Yeah, their technique could use some polish, but the performance in general felt very believable. Hit all the right emotional notes. I think it'll stay with me for a while.
Hey, at least the show is a
What a
success.
surprise! Seeing Miss Farina on the stage? This ticket was money well spent.
Yeah, I agree. Say what you want about her, but she's flawless when she's on stage.
Alright, let's go check on the squad. Where's she at though? Let's go check on her. Hopefully she's doing okay. That hopefully that illness flare-up wasn't too serious.
you're back. She's doing okay. Her condition stabilized after taking some of her original medication. From experience, though, I'd say she still needs a few more days of rest.
How did the performance go? Was it a success? Did the audience like it?
You'll be glad to know it was fantastic! Also, you're not gonna believe what happened while Farina was on the stage. You'll probably be able to read all about it in the Steambird first thing tomorrow morning.
That's wonderful. I'm so sorry I failed to see it through to the end. I guess I was wrong to try and tough it out to begin with.
No, don't worry about it. Like they told me after announcing my name during the curtain call, everyone's work deserves recognition. Even though you couldn't see it through to the final scene, the audience was very impressed by your performance. It's safe to say that you made your mark on this memorial show.
Well, one way or another, we did it. I've had bad luck ever since I was born, so I never expect things to go smoothly in life. I'm just happy to know that we went out on a high note. That's all that matters.
Blaming your bad luck again, are we? Maybe if you didn't push yourself past your limits so much, your illness wouldn't be flaring up all the time.
Oh, don't you start. I don't have the energy to argue with you right now.
Aw, you two clearly care a lot about each other.
I don't know what you're talking about.
You mean we never stop arguing with each other?
So, any plans for the next step? After the brilliant performance you put on, the reputation of your troupe is sure to spread through Fontaine like wildfire. You won't have to disband if you don't want to. You could capitalize on the rave reviews and license out the Little Oceanid to the bigger theater troupes out there. That would do wonders for your financial situation.
No, we should still disband.
Yeah, it's what we all agreed to.
After all that's happened, I should give you guys some space. But maybe our paths will cross again one day.
Hey, don't just walk off!
And then it just all comes to an end just like that.
I still want to keep performing, so I might join another troupe. After watching Miss Farina's performance, I think I'm starting to understand our director's infatuation with musicals.
You should do it. It suits you. I'd originally hoped to keep performing too, but I don't know if my health will allow me to.
Oh, so now you finally got your priorities in order. I guess I'll hold off until you've properly recovered as well. What about you, Miss Farina? Any future plans?
Well, frankly, I think a return to obscurity is no longer an option for me. I'm sure a slew of consultancy requests will hound me wherever I go, until I finally acquiesce. You rather sealed my fate there with your special thanks at the end of the show.
Sorry.
It's quite all right. No need to apologize. What I meant to say is that this whole experience has shown me that perhaps I'm not as averse to a return to the stage as I previously imagined. Maybe Nervilette was right. Maybe Cleo is the right role for me. I still don't wish to pretend to be someone else, but I do have a desire to express myself. So, maybe the show will go on for me after all. Yeah. There was once a time when I was an actress in a masquerade, seeking only to hide the truth. But from now on, I want to spend my time learning real stories about real people and how they touch the lives of others around them. I want to watch them blossom and wither, see them refined on the page, retold on the stage, and remembered long into the future. I'm sure this is what captivated director O'Reilly as well.
Sounds like you're ready to stop running from your true calling. The more you get out into the world, the more you'll discover what a fascinating place it is.
Yep.
Then it's a deal. If a vision is a gift from the gods, then I should do my best to honor it.
Man, that was such a good quest, bro. I'm happy I played through this. I really am.
It's ironic to think that in my whole time as a god, I could only ever dream of receiving this kind of power. And now that the gods have given me their blessing, it actually feels more like I'm finally able to take my fate in my own hands. Is that how humans feel about it as well?
I'm just finishing packing up. As soon as I'm done, I've got an interview with the Steambird to get to. Thanks to all your help, the show was more perfect than we ever could have hoped for. But most of all, I want to thank you for giving me the chance to finally say farewell to Aurelie.
Now that the buzz is worn off, I feel ready to pass out.
Elaine, what you got to say?
Thank you so much. I feel like I've rekindled the passion I had when I first joined the troupe. It might turn out to be too little, too late for me. But still, this has been the experience of a lifetime. I mean, of course I have some regrets, but
There'll be plenty of opportunities in the future for us to tell the stories that we want on stage.
She really is going to step down because of her health. That's understandable. Understandable. Alright, so I think I have to go back here to turn in my daily commissions actually.
Add as. Thank you for complete.
Yes, sir. And now we can do this event proper. And where is it? Over here. Let go.
Seriously? But, Mr. Morris, I don't understand, sir. How can you only be telling me this now?
I'm afraid that there's nothing really I can do. I'm really facing a crisis. My hands are tied.
But what about my film?
Well, I'm afraid you'll have to come up with something on your own. Take it from me. Sometimes you just have to let things go. Same goes for this film festival.
Dang.
Oh.
Hey, isn't that Xavier? So he's back in Fontaine now. Xavier!
Oh, why, if it isn't the dear Traveler and Paimon. I really didn't expect to bump into you here at this time. Well, I was doing just fine until I received some terrible news just now. The investor I was working with for my upcoming film has fallen upon some hard times and is no longer able to provide the promised amount of funds.
Can't you just find a different investor?
Unfortunately, that's not how it works. We had signed an agreement specific to the Fontaine Film Festival, stipulating that I cannot work with any other investors until the festival is finished.
Wow, that's scummy.
The Fontaine Film Festival? What's that?
bro locked you
Is
in
this your first time participating
and wait
in
till like the
Fontaine's
last
Festival?
moment to peace out.
Then allow me to fill you in. The Fontinalia Festival was established to commemorate the legendary Loch Knights, who went on a quest to search for the Oceanids and eventually welcomed the Hydro Arconid. The holiday is deeply connected to the founding of Fontaine, as well as its unique laws and trials. It's one of the most important festivals for this nation.
But what's with that weird expression on your face? It's like you're trying really hard to remember something.
Ah, I was just trying to recall the exact description from the books, in order to avoid any unnecessary arguments over semantics. I usually try to recite things straight from the source.
Well, either way, Paimon thinks she gets it now. It's just like the Windbloom Festival in Mondstadt, and the Lantern Rite in Lille.
Sweet.
Yes, those are festivals of a similar variety. Who doesn't like a good festival? And just like those of other nations, Fontaine will hold a plethora of events around this time each year. To commemorate the Loch Knights, people
I
will
wonder when the
imitate them by
Lantern
putting on
Rite's gonna
special
start this year.
costumes, raising golden cups and going door to door asking for pure water. But a few years ago, Lady Farina started to find the whole idea a little drab, and so decided to change the part about pure water to sweets.
That really doesn't surprise Paimon at all.
The whole thing seems more akin to a carnival now, and it's quite popular among the kids. Every year you can hear a bunch of them saying, "Trial or treat."
Oh, that sounds pretty fun. But how does that connect back to the film festival you mentioned?
Ah, yes, it appears I've strayed off topic. I just got
I
too
love how they're
excited after
teasing
seeing you.
Chevrolet in the background, bro.
The Fontinalia Film Festival is an event
Chevrolet's in the
by
background, I mean,
Fontaine
sheesh.
Film Association this year. Now that film technology has matured as a medium, it's the perfect time to introduce more people to the art form. During this time, people may submit films to be evaluated, and the entry with the highest score will be given the Farina Award by the association.
The what award?
The Farina Award. You know, after the Hydro Archon. They coined it while Lady Farina was still in power, but even though things have changed, no one has made any motion to update the name. Perhaps everyone still thinks of it as a pretty appropriate name. Even though she isn't the Hydro Archon any longer, Lady Farina is still Fontaine's superstar. Anyone with eyes can see the way she shines on the stage.
Huh. Alright. Guess the name does work pretty well when you put it that way.
Oh, but who would have guessed there'd be an issue with the funding? How will I ever explain this to Miss Chiori? Not to say all the other actors who traveled all the way here from Inazuma.
Chiori? Sounds familiar. Where have we heard that name before?
She runs the clothing store in the court of Fontaine.
Yes, that's her. I asked her to oversee the event's art direction, including the design of the actors' costumes and appearances.
Oh, Paimon remembers now. Navia said that her clothes were designed by Chiori, and Kirara's outfit too.
How to describe her? Well, she tends to be pretty direct and can be very forceful when it comes to dealing with people. The fashion world in Fontaine has dubbed her the Thundering Seamstress. Her remarkable designs have led many Fontainians to become very interested in Inazuma. Anyway, Chiori is acquainted with all the actors I've invited from Inazuma. Without her help, I don't think I would have been able to get such an international cast for the film. She really is a kind soul.
Who are the actors from Inazuma? Do we know them?
Why don't the two of you accompany me to the Aquabus station to welcome them? Judging from the time, the Aquabus should be arriving shortly. Chiori will be waiting to meet me there as well.
Ooh. Yo, the aesthetic of this. Yo, the aesthetic reminds me a lot of this this one game that I tried out like 5 times on my 3DS and then never touched again. I think it's like Codename Steam or something like that. At least I think that's what it was called. Codename Steam. That was such a unique game. Well, I could not jive with it at all.
We have work to do.
With its I could not jive with its gameplay at all, dude. Yo, this quest has 5 chapters. Holy crap. Wow. That is a lot of, that is a lot of dialogue to go through. Holy crap, naders. And this is the weapon I get. Yep. Event shop. Woo! This is going to be interesting. I wonder when Ayaka is going to show up. I mean, they're probably the guest though that's going to show up like right now, actually. Well, let's start the quest. Like the main quest. Get like, let's finish like the first part. Finish the rest of it tomorrow on the next stream. And then do all the mini games in a straight shot. That sounds good to me. Hey, who are you? She doesn't look Fontainian. Her outfit doesn't look Fontainian at all.
Miss Chiori?
She from Inazuma?
Your talk with the investor sure went fast. The Aquabus hasn't even arrived yet. Oh? And who are they?
Allow me to introduce you. This is the Traveler and Paimon.
Pleased to meet you.
Likewise! We've heard the owner of Chioriya Boutique is a skilled seamstress, so it's a real pleasure to finally meet you in person.
The way Navia's wardrobe comes together is really exceptional.
Why, thank you. I strove to create an outfit that matched her high social station as the demoiselle. So tell me, what happened? I can tell the conversation didn't go quite as expected.
Well, it's like this.
Ugh.
I know, Chiori, you don't have to say it. You did remind me that this investor was a little bit sketchy.
Yes, there's no doubt about that.
But how could I pass it up? He offered me twice as much as the others.
And therein lies the problem.
Yes, but just put yourself in my shoes. After obtaining such an excellent script, it's only natural that I would want to make the most of the film. The budgets that the others had proposed were nowhere near enough. It's difficult to find someone willing to front such a large amount of mora, so...
Don't be sad, Xavier. We might be able to help scrounge up some more together for you.
Rodon got scammed. He's only now just realizing it.
Thank you, Paimon. That means a lot to me. But the cost of the film is staggering. I'm afraid that any mora we can scrounge together in a short amount of time won't even be able to cover the actors' fees.
We need to move on. What's happened has already happened, and there's no changing it. But now's not the time to give up.
What? You're saying that you have a plan?
No, that's not what I mean. I'm simply saying I wouldn't give up just yet. The actors I recommended aren't just after Mora after all.
And where do you live?
We Melusines live in Mary's
Hey,
village.
Yoimiya,
The
let
only
go.
way to enter is from underwater.
Oh,
Ayaka and Ayato, let go.
right? I mean, you have to swim all that way just to go home.
Inazuma, gang, 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 gang.
Some Melusines choose to live in the court of Fontaine because it's so much more convenient.
And this is our stop.
Oh, we've arrived, but I haven't even finished chatting with Aval yet.
I also enjoyed Aval's introductions to Fontaine along the way. Everything you described was so clear and detailed that we can't help but want to hear more.
Thank you so much. I'm usually working here on the Sakura bus, so I hope I'll have the chance to see you again. There are still many more places I'd like to introduce to you.
Welcome to the court of Fontaine. Chiori, you sure have changed a lot. This is the first time we've seen you since you left Inazuma.
Yeah, she's Inazuma.
I haven't
Gotcha.
realized it's been so long. I was in such a rush when I left that I didn't even get to say goodbye.
Thank you for extending the invitation, Mr. Xavier. I'm looking forward to a fruitful trip here in Fontaine.
It's an honor to have the head of the Kamisato clan visit us.
So they are who you meant when you said you had actors coming from Inazuma?
Oh? It's the Traveler and Paimon.
Wow, what a coincidence! Ayaka and I were just talking about you on the way here. Are you also here for the film?
We just ran into Xavier earlier and came over with him.
But I'm not an actress. Sir Kamisato and Lady Ayaka are the real actors here. I'm just tagging along with Ayaka to have a good time together.
Sweet.
About that, I mean, how was I supposed to contact you when I was making preparations for the film? I figured you were probably busy and I didn't want to disturb you. So I could only keep you in the back of my mind while I sought other actors to play the lead roles in the film.
I had been thinking about a surprise reunion with you during our trip here, but you still managed to surprise me first.
Oh, so you all know each other already. My, what a coincidence. What are the chances everyone could be brought together here like this?
I also
Why don't we
love
go
that
to Hotel
Ayaka has her
Devore and catch up over a meal?
Fontanian
I've
skin,
already made a reservation.
her Fontanian outfit on. It's very fitting.
2 spots for us too?
Yes, of course, of course. I'll be sure to tell the boss to serve a few more delicious dishes just to make sure there'll be enough food.
Very well. Then please, kindly lead the way, Mr. Xavier.
All right.
Wow, the buildings in Fontaine are so tall. Just look at how big they are.
And there's the fountain that Aval mentioned earlier. It really is a magnificent sight.
And look at that huge spinning sphere. Where does it get its power? Wait a sec. Could it be one of those clockwork mecha we've heard so much about?
All the way over here. Let's go. Oh, I was about to hop off. I'm already here, bro. Let's go.
So this is what food from Fontaine is like. It sure is different from what we have in Inazuma. How should I describe it? It seems like you have to go through a lot more steps to make them. And the flavor has many layers too.
Yes. When I first went to Inazuma, I actually thought the food there tasted a little too bland. It took some time for me to get used to it.
Let's get back to the purpose of this trip for a moment, shall we? How have preparations for the film been coming along, Mr. Xavier?
Well, I've already assembled most of the film crew, a lighting specialist, a prop manager, and a costume designer. I've also bought the copyrights from the novel's author.
Oh, it's called The Two Musketeers, right? I read the script you sent me on the way here. The story is pretty good.
Originally, I was planning to start filming as soon as Sir Kamisato and Lady Ayaka arrived in Fontaine, but I'm afraid I've run into a bit of a problem.
Oh? What is it?
It has to do with the film's investor, Mr. Morris. He suddenly informed me this morning that he's encountered some financial trouble and will be unable to release to me the amount of funding agreed upon.
It's said that Fontaine's legal system is well developed. If he has violated the contract, then can't you simply take him to court over the matter?
Well, I'm still more concerned about filming. Even if I were to take him to court, I'm afraid it would take months before the case could even be heard.
Then, is there a way we could raise funds ourselves to solve the problem?
I've considered that option too, but unfortunately, it's difficult to gather such a large amount of mora on such short notice. Besides, we have to consider the film festival's submission deadline.
Mr. Xavier, if Ayaka and I were willing to perform for free, would that resolve the problem you are currently facing?
Hey, yo!
What? No, out of the question. To have you come all this way just to act for free? Oh, no, that won't do.
There's no need to worry, Mr. Xavier. My brother and I had actually intended to work for free after receiving your invitation.
That's crazy.
Inazuma has only recently reopened its borders, and needs to strengthen its relations and cultural ties with other nations. We didn't have many collaboration projects with Fontaine in the past, so we hoped this trip would serve as a good start for the future.
Indeed. You could say that's the real reason why the Yashiro Commission agreed to come to Fontaine.
I understand, but having you two act for free just doesn't seem right.
Not at all. While we're officially here to conduct a cultural survey of sorts, we must express our sincerity if we want to establish formal cultural ties with your nation. This film will serve as proof of friendly cooperation and cultural exchange between Inazuma and Fontaine. It's my hope that the film can be finished and released as smoothly as possible. If you still don't feel comfortable with this arrangement, I would also be more than happy to be introduced to some other renowned individuals in Fontaine's literary and artistic circles.
All right, I'll do as you say. Thank you so much. I'll make sure to cobble together enough mora now, even if it means selling my house, my camera, and every single family heirloom.
Come on now, no need to go that far. I'll also help you out as a brand sponsor.
Oh yeah, let's go.
Me too! Even though I didn't bring much more to spend on this trip, it's still better than nothing.
You are too kind, all of you. I really don't know how to...
Ew. Alright, enough about that. Now that we have Xavier's savings, my
She's like,
support, and two
she was like,
leads
ew,
who are
what are
willing
you
to
crying
act
for,
free,
bro?
I
Stop.
think we will be able to make this happen. So, instead of Mora, you'll help with filming and production.
Oh, but how can we help with that? We don't know much about making a film.
Alright, pull yourself together, Xavier. Tell us if there are still any open positions left among the crew.
All right. Let me think. We still need a camera operator, a clapper loader, and someone to manage logistics. I originally wanted to personally serve as director, but I've been too busy working as the producer. So the positions of director and director's assistant will also need to be filled.
Paimon knows what the director and the logistics support person do, but what's a clapper loader?
The clapper loader is responsible for using the clapper board to record and organize the information of each shot when the camera operator begins shooting. The work requires both patience and careful attention to detail.
A clapper board? Oh, you mean the thing they hold that goes clap whenever they start filming?
Yes, that's right. Are you interested in that job?
For sure! Paimon's always wanted to try that!
Alright, then you'll be our clapper loader. I can find someone from the store to help with logistics. What do you think, Xavier?
Oh, fine by me. As for our camera operator, I was thinking of letting the Traveler take the role.
Sweet.
Oh, he's great when it comes to using the camera. Paimon can't even count how many things we've taken photos of during our journey.
Yes, that's also what I was thinking. I noticed the Traveler had an eye for photography and composition when we worked together previously.
I'm sure that's due to the traveler's journey across Devat and all the places they've seen. After so many adventures, using a camera must be second nature by now.
What do you say, Traveler? Are you interested in the job?
As long as y'all paying.
Thank you. It really means a lot to me. Come on, friend. Let me give you a big warm hug.
Hey, yo, pause. Back away. I don't like the way you looking, bro. Back up. Back up now.
So, all that's left for us to find is a director and an assistant.
Oh, me! I want to be the director's assistant. All we need to do is help the director, right? I can handle that.
All right, then all we need is a director. Oh, all the well-known directors in Fontaine are probably also busy working on their own films these days. I'm not sure who will have time to help.
Oh, Farina helped out a theater troupe recently by serving as an artistic consultant. She could be a good director, right? Besides, it's not like she has anything else to do right now.
Farina? Do you really think Lady Farina would be willing to help us with our humble project?
Isn't that the name of Fontaine's Hydro Archon? My brother has already informed me about what happened here in Fontaine.
Yep, that's her! She helped out a theater troupe not too long ago, and now she's taking up work as a director.
Wow. That would have sounded so out of place if I didn't do that quest before this.
I saw that musical. Her performance was perfect, and the storyboards were also excellent. Don't let her form or identity intimidate you. She's the best candidate we can think of right now. You'll never know until you give her a shot.
Fine, you're right, Shiori. I'll do anything for the sake of my film. Anything! Then I'll have to ask the Traveler and Paimon to show me the way to Lady Farina's residence. I just hope she'll agree to help.
Do you need us to also come along?
No, there's no need to trouble you with this. Besides, you've just arrived in Fontaine, and I'm sure there are many places you would like to visit. Just leave this task to me. It's part of my duties as the producer.
Very well. Then we'll be waiting to hear the good news.
I'll go with you. By the way, you might want to consider bringing a gift.
And don't worry, we won't simply drop you off at Farina's place. We know Farina pretty well by now, so having some familiar faces there should help your chances. Besides, the whole thing was our idea in the first place.
All right, then I'll start making preparations. As for the gift...
Dessert.
A gift for someone who was once seen as the Hydro Archon. I wonder what she would like.
I recall that Lady Farina once fancied a clockwork ring, so perhaps I should get another exquisite clockwork contraption for her.
Huh? Can't we just bring some desserts, like the Fontaine mousse?
But wouldn't that be a little too cheap? She does like desserts, though.
Isn't the Fontaine festival happening right now? I heard Evil tell us on the Aquabus that Farina introduced the tradition of going door to door and asking for sweets. To do something like that, she must have a real sweet tooth.
I agree with Yoimiya. If the gift is too fancy, it might actually make her feel more uncomfortable.
Alright then, let's go buy some Fontaine mousse.
Yeah, let go.
But will that really be enough? We'll be asking her to do a lot of work, you know.
You're right. We need to further sweeten the deal.
Huh? You want something even sweeter than Fontaine mousse?
Yes, we'll need a gift that's sweeter than any dessert in the world.
Well, what could that be?
Your words of praise.
Alright, let go. We got the recipe. Fontainella Moose, whatever it's called. Blech. Rainbow macarons. Gimme. Alright, let's go to her apartment. Should be over here. And we're gonna do this first part, finish up this first part of the quest, and then sign on out. Let's see what Farina is up to.
We're here! This is where Farina lives.
Okay, I'll go knock on the door.
Seriously, who's knocking before afternoon tea?
Who are you?
Lady Farina, please allow me to introduce myself. I am Xavier, a film director.
Hello. Oh, is that the traveler in Paimon I see behind you? And who's this?
I'm Chiori.
Ah, the one from Chioria Boutique. Hello, hello. So, what are you all doing here? Do you need something?
Did you just get up, Farina? It's already past noon, you know.
Hey, honestly, guys, as a night owl myself, I can't talk shit. I honestly can't. I'd be lucky if I wake up before noon.
Huh? Oh, Paimon means the weather is so nice in the afternoon and the sun is so warm. Just like how you make us feel. Sleeping in late is a really smart idea.
What?
No. I was just up late last night reading some novels. What does sleeping in have to do with the weather?
This is a small gift we've prepared for you, Lady Farina. We hope you like it.
No need to be so formal. I'm just a regular person like everyone else now. Oh, is this Fontinalia mousse? It's one of my favorites.
That's great! So, actually, there's something we need your help with. Given your renowned passion and understanding of drama, I would like to ask that you serve as the director of our film crew.
Oh, but didn't you just say that you're a director?
Yes, but for this particular project, I'm mainly working as a producer. Besides, I'm sure that your understanding of the performing arts far surpasses my own, Lady Farina.
Are the Traveler and Paimon also part of the film crew?
You bet.
Yep, we sure are. Paimon's the clapper loader and he's the camera operator.
Camera operator? That can be a pretty technical job, and it directly affects the final quality of the film. Are you really up to it? No, I'm not questioning your abilities. It's just that I've never really seen you use a camera before.
Maybe you can come up with a test for the Traveler and see for yourself. If he can satisfy you with his camera skills, then you'd have nothing to worry about and can join the team. What do you say?
You sure are getting better at rolling with the situation, Paimon. I do wish to see how skilled the Traveler really is with a camera. Alright, how about this? We'll work with what we have. I'll give you some scenarios and see if your work is up to my standards. Very good. It's essential for the camera operator to understand the director's vision. I'll make my decision after seeing your work. Are you ready? I have high standards, you know. Okay, grab the camera and I'll give you a scenario.
Okay. Steele is the boss of Burma Workshop and has always been proud of her forging machine. Technologies, Let us film a promotional video for her workshop. Remember to emphasize the superiority of her forging machine. Film several shots according to the director's requirements and compile them into a video. Camera positioning is key, and you should ascertain the camera position requirements beforehand. Hey yo, I wanna tell y'all something. As I edit all my videos and stuff on my own and like capture like all the footage and stuff on my own. So this stuff for this event right here is basically like me doing the stuff that I already do just to run this channel. Just like make videos for this channel. It's kind of cool. Yeah, you gotta do the camera shots and fit the narration in relation to the shot. Yeah, that's the first part. Camera position 2. This machine can precisely control the force applied and the temperature. Wait a minute, let's view the script. Okay, nothing changed, so I gotta just pick these. Okay, this machine can precisely control the force applied and temperature, making it perfect for doing exhausting and time-consuming work. So this one right here. Thanks to this machine, the owner of Vermont Workshop Estile can comfortably enjoy each day at work. A shot of the owner, yeah. But worry not, for the weapons produced are out of oh my tongue. My tongue has been twisted beyond recognition. Oh my god. Of outstanding quality with exquisite craftsmanship. Yeah, probably an image of the crates where all the weapons go. And then this one, if weapons are what you want, look no further than Vermont. Yeah. And then a shot at the top of the workshop with the logo and everything. That seems good to me. Easy. Easy 100. First try. Let's go.
Oh, it appears that you have more skill than I thought. All the shots had a great composition, and I could really feel a connection to the characters and their lines.
Yeah! Does that mean you agree to be our director, Farina?
Did you think I would agree just like that? After our performance of the Little Oceanid, I've begun to make a name for myself again, you know. In fact, I've already had several troops approach me for the Fontaine Film Festival. Unfortunately, the scripts were all pretty boring and didn't pique my interest. If others were to find out I agreed to work with you so easily, then, well...
Hey, but didn't we have a deal? What else do we need to do to convince you, Farina?
Well, what about the pay?
Huh?
You know, how much you're willing to pay me to be the director?
Damn
the
right.
Pay is also
Give me my
an
check.
important factor for me to consider, you know.
Well, I can offer you this much?
What? That's all? If Nervilet were to hear of this, he could charge you with underpaying your labor.
I'm sorry, but our crew is in a tight financial spot at the moment.
I see. Well, even though it's highly unlikely now that I'll join your crew, there's still something I'd like to ask. Exactly what film are you planning to make?
Oh, our script is an adaptation of The Two Musketeers.
Huh? Wait, you mean the suspense thriller novel that was a #1 bestseller?
Oh, so Farina's read it too.
Of course I read it. I've always had a keen interest in artistic works that strike a chord with the populace. I see. It all makes sense now. You must have used most of the budget to pay for the copyright.
Not really. The novel's author transferred the copyright to me practically for free once he heard that I wanted to make a film adaptation of the story. The lack of budget is due to another issue.
He probably just wants to get his name out there. So, Mora isn't the most important thing to him right now. It reminds me of a delivery courier who wears one of my designs while traveling all across Teyvat. I didn't charge her much for the outfit either. The exposure she provides for my brand is well worth it.
So, are you a big fan of this story, Farina?
Well, it's alright. The pacing of the story is good, but the character relationships could use some work. When I was reading it before, I always felt like some things were left on a rather unsatisfactory note. I have high standards, you know. Ahem, Mr. Xavier, if, hypothetically speaking, I agree to be the director, how much freedom would I have in terms of script revisions and creative interpretation?
Oh, as much freedom as you would need. I wouldn't dare doubt the tastes of Fontaine's greatest star.
Good. Then I'm free to alter the script as I see fit.
Absolutely, no problem.
Alright, we're counting on you. Let go.
All right. It seems that your crew really can't go on without my care and direction.
So, you agree?
Yes, I agree. Although the pay is well below what someone of my caliber deserves, a great script calls for a great director. I mustn't let a perfectly good story be ruined due to lack of funds. If you have fine cheese and bread, you wouldn't just let it sit on the counter and get moldy just because you lack an oven, right?
True.
Oh, Hydro Archon above! I'm not dreaming, am I? Somebody pinch me.
There's no more Hydro Archon, you know. And it's still a little early to celebrate. There's a lot that goes into shooting a film. Although the trickiest tasks of finalizing the script and casting the actors have already been taken care of, we'll still need to reserve filming locations. Not to say set up lighting and props. And by the way, since we'll be filming The Two Musketeers, we'll need to find an action choreographer. Ideally, a professional who has actual experience with muskets.
Yes, I've thought about this as well. I was hoping that you might know someone who could handle the job.
And she does.
Me? If this was before, I could have simply asked Florand. But it's already been some time since I last talked to her. Navia can also use firearms, but unfortunately, her style is quite different from that of the characters in the story.
Could we ask the Special Security and Surveillance Patrol?
Oh, you mean the Special Patrol's Musketeers?
Yes, that's right. They work with muskets every day. I can't think of anyone more qualified than them.
They would be under Nervilet's jurisdiction. Unfortunately, I don't have any connection with them at all. So, in the end, we still have to start by talking to Nervalette.
No need to go to all that trouble. I know their Captain Chevreuse.
Oh, you do? Wait, Chiori, how do you know the captain of the Special Patrol's Musketeers?
No particular reason. Running a business means dealing with some trouble from time to time, and she's helped me out on a few occasions. In return, I've helped her handle a few situations in which the Special Patrol couldn't get involved directly. So, we've gotten to know each other over time.
So you're saying there's been times when the Special Patrol needed a fashion designer to handle a situation? Your work is becoming more and more mysterious.
It'd be best to keep it that way. Anyway, enough about that. What do you all think about asking the captain to be our musket action choreographer?
She sounds professional enough. She is a captain after all. I have no objections.
But I imagine the Special Security and Surveillance Patrol must be busy with their duties. Do you think she'd really have time to help with shooting a film? And then there's the issue of pay.
Well, it just so happens that she's also not the kind of person that's just after Mora. As for whether she has time, I'll have to go and ask her first.
Then I'll leave that to you. Macaroni's on sale today, so I've got to go. You can just tell
Man,
me
she
how things
loves
went when we
macaroni.
discuss tomorrow's plan later.
No problem.
Having Farina join feels like a big boost to our team.
Of course. Just wait until the day of our premiere. You'll witness the true power of my name in these lands. You'll be so glad I agreed to help. I can guarantee that even the standing tickets will be sold out. I'll be sure to ask some people I know to see if they'd be willing to act as extras.
Seems like you're finally getting more comfortable with your own reputation now.
I didn't ask for the Clapper Loader's commentary, Paimon.
Then let's get going. I happen to know where Chevreuse is today.
By the way, I'm curious. If my pay is so low, then what about our two lead actors? Didn't they travel here all the way from Inazuma?
Actually, they told us that they see the trip as part of a cultural exchange, so they didn't ask for any pay.
What? So is every person in Teyvat who doesn't want money gathered here to shoot this film? Don't tell me Chiori isn't being paid either.
I already knew Xavier from before, and he's also agreed to give my brand some good exposure.
It seems the gods have really smiled upon you, Xavier. And that certainly doesn't include me, mind you.
Alright, now I gotta talk to Chevreuse, get introduced to her, and I believe the first part of the quest should end here, right?
All right, this is the place.
But where's the captain? There's hardly anyone around here.
Oh no. Look for the one that stands out like a sore
Reading in
thumb.
front of the newsstand.
Oh, her! Paimon could tell there was something different about her. She seems kinda intimidating.
Please wait here for a moment. I'll go fetch her. She's working now, so you might not want to get in her way.
Working? But isn't she just standing there and reading a novel?
Just trust me.
Oh, alright, let's see what happens then. Chiori sure is a mysterious person. She claims just to be a fashion designer, but she knows all these powerful people.
The court of Fontaine isn't particularly tolerant of visitors from overseas, so it isn't easy for a foreigner to promote their brand here. Even more so in the competitive world of fashion. Even a local like me just trying to make a film has to face all kinds of challenges. So I can only imagine what Chiori has been through to get where she is today. I'm sure that having more connections has definitely worked in her favor.
Reading on the job?
Detective novel.
One main character?
No, multiple. Branching storylines.
I see. How's the plot coming along?
One of the main characters is about to make a choice that will affect the rest of his life. I'd wager he's going to make the wrong choice.
Any way to speed things up? There's something I need your help with.
You know that doesn't depend on me. It all comes down to what the character chooses.
Which is exactly why I'm here to help.
All right. It appears he made the wrong choice in the end. Halt!
Got him.
Huh? What's going on?
Hand over whatever you're holding.
Oh, it's just a book. I didn't buy anything else.
Then I'm sure you wouldn't mind letting me have a look.
Excuse me, officer. I don't mind you standing around here, not purchasing anything, but I'd prefer if you didn't disturb my customers. It's bad for business, you know?
Don't give me that act. You won't be able to get off so easily either.
Ooh.
I am Shovras, captain of Fontaine's Special Security and Surveillance Patrol. I will say this one last time. Hand over whatever you're holding at once. And before you do anything unwise, let me remind you that I'll have you on the ground before you can even think about making a run for it.
All right. I'll give it to you. But please let me say something first. If there's any contraband in that book, then the shopkeeper here is the one who slipped it in. I don't have anything to do with this.
Why, you trying to leave me on the hook, huh? You were the one who said you wanted it.
Save it for the interrogation room. Take them away, Letelier.
Got him.
What's going on here? One second you're reading a book and the next you're escorting people away.
And who are... Oh! Aren't you the traveler who's been all over the papers recently? Chiori, I'm assuming what you wanted to ask me about has to do with them, right? Maybe I can let you in on what's happening then. Now that Vache has been brought to justice, no new shipments of synth will be made and distributed to sellers. The Fontaine guards have been busy collecting the remaining synths still circulating on the market. Thanks to a tip from our reliable source here, this should be the very last batch.
Sweet.
Oh, so you were pretending to read a book in order to catch the bad guys. Oh, Paimon almost forgot to introduce ourselves. Paimon is Paimon, and this is the Traveler and Xavier.
Hey, I'm Shovras. You probably already heard me introduce myself, so I won't bother repeating it.
Yeah, why didn't you make a move as soon as you had the chance? Were you worried that my intel wasn't accurate?
No, I wanted to see if the shopkeeper would turn himself in first. All he had to do was come up to me and say that he didn't know where the synth had come from. If he did that, then I wouldn't have had to press charges on him.
He had the whole day to turn the synth over to Shovras. But instead, the moment I came up and blocked Shovras' line of sight, he took the opportunity to sell it off.
Yep, he made the wrong choice, even though the right choice was right there in front of him.
But you knew they wouldn't make the right choice.
Yeah, I knew. I was just hoping I'd be wrong for once. Enough about that, though. What did you want to ask me about?
Oh, you see, it's like this.
The Two Musketeers. You certainly have a good eye for a story. So what do you need me to do? Just be the action choreographer for the actors?
Yes, that's right. I want to make sure we get all the details right. I want the actor's posture and understanding of firearms to be as realistic as possible. However, I'm afraid this work will require a bit of your time, since you'll have to be present whenever we're filming. Also, as for the pay...
No need to say any more. I'll join.
Bro is getting mad lucky.
Just like that.
Oh no, I clicked off.
Really?
Whoops.
You're willing to help us with our humble film project?
Sure, it's no big deal. As I said, we've wrapped up our investigation here, so I don't have any other tasks on my plate for the moment. Besides, I personally really like this novel. I even have the collector's edition at home. Stories where justice prevails over evil never get old for me.
Then we've got a deal?
Yes, I'll see you on set tomorrow.
Oh my! I can hardly believe it! I should tell Lady Farina immediately. Oh, and I must tell the prop manager and lighting technician to get everything ready. We start filming tomorrow!
All right.
Calm down, Xavier. The film is going to take more than just a day to finish. Still, I should also head back now and start preparing the actors' costumes and makeup.
Alright, guess that's it for today then.
Traveler, Paimon, please stay for a moment. I have something to tell you.
Then I'll take Xavier back. Poor thing. He's so excited that he can't even walk straight anymore. I don't want to spend our first day fishing our producer out of the fountain. He'd better.
I gotta talk to Chevros. Over here. What's the deal?
So what did you want to tell us, Chevros?
Have you read The Two Musketeers? The story is about a pair of children born into the household of a baron and their struggle to survive together and take revenge for their mother. They were raised at the baron's estate, where their mother worked as a maid. The two were illegitimate children that the baron had with the maid, so they were never treated well by anyone. One day, upon returning home, they found their mother had been murdered and left dead on the floor. It was quite evident that the culprits were the other members of the baron's household, who never had any kind words to say to them. However, the baron was able to exert his influence and keep the whole thing under wraps. The mother's death was eventually deemed as a suicide, and there was no chance of bringing her murderers to justice. The two siblings decided to flee and someday avenge their mother. Many years later, members of the baron's family suddenly started turning up dead one after the other, all killed by gunshot. A rainbow rose was found on each of the victims' bodies, being the flower that the kid's mother liked best. The baron believed that the mother's soul had come to take vengeance on him, so he lived in fear each day. But it was actually those two siblings who had fled all those years ago. They relied on each other to survive and trained day and night, eventually becoming adept musketeers. They used all of their abilities to collect evidence and clues before executing their plan and exacting revenge on the baron. Their actions let the truth behind their mother's death be known to all.
That's quite an exhilarating story.
Yeah.
Yep, the baron got what he deserved for his evil deeds, and justice was able to prevail. It was just the kind of story I enjoy.
Oh, so is that why you were so willing to join our crew, Chevros?
You could say it was one of the reasons.
Oh, you mean there were other reasons too?
I've read the reports about you. Whether it was at the trials or when you lent your hand to resolve our nation's crisis, you've shown that you've got a strong sense of justice, as well as a great mind for deductions.
There's a case that you need our help with?
Yes, you're as sharp as I expected. It seems you've experienced many similar situations before. There's been a recent murder case involving muskets. The perpetrator's methods appear to be very similar to what is described in the novel.
Huh. Really? But Paimon didn't see anything about that in today's papers.
The Marechaussee Phantom hasn't yet released any information to the public because the investigation is currently at a standstill. The murderer is extremely cautious.
A murder involving firearms? But not that many people use those in Fontaine, right?
Impossible. We perform a routine inspection of our firearms and ammo reserves every day. If one of the weapons had been fired, it would stick out like a sore thumb. Besides, I trust the members of my platoon. However... Well, that's all I can disclose about the case today.
Huh? What do you mean?
I hope you all can go back and get some shut-eye. You can decide tomorrow whether or not you'd like to join the investigation with me. I'm aware this might not be the ideal time to add more to your plate, but the more capable people we have, the better the chances that justice will prevail. Carrying out investigations isn't actually supposed to be our responsibility. Our job is to apprehend the perpetrators. Finding them is really up to the Marechaussee Phantom. You could say I'm taking part in the investigation out of personal interest. I don't want people to see muskets in a negative way, and also, I'm concerned about the similarity between the crimes and the story.
You mean They might be connected somehow?
I suspect so. Just to make myself clear, this is not an order, nor is it a deal of any kind. It's a request, nothing more. If you two have any interest in the case after we finish filming tomorrow and are willing to assist me, then I would be most grateful.
What do you think, Traveler?
Let's give it some thought tomorrow.
You're right. Paimon's getting a little tired too. We've really been hustling all day.
You'd better head back and get some rest. It's good to keep a calm mind, especially when you're about to make an important decision. Otherwise, when the moment comes, you might end up like that shopkeeper and not even realize that the right choice is right there in front of you.
Act 1 complete. Yes, sir. So we got 4 more acts to go, and we've got 24 hours, like less than 24 hours to get through them all. And I'm going to get back into it after I take a break. So I'll see you guys on the next stream while we finish up this event. Finishing up Furina's event took up a lot of time, but I'm happy that I did it because that quest was pretty awesome, dude. I liked it a lot. Now like tied into Furina's character. So I'm happy I did that. But a lot of time was spent on it, so we gotta finish up this event tomorrow. We gotta do a whole lot of speed reading through the dialogue. So yeah. Until then, I will see you guys in the next stream. Thank you guys so much for watching. Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe if you would like to see more. And until then, I'm out. Take care.